court to begin their warm-ups in preparation for the tip-off of their semifinal matchup. Tip time is 8:17 Eastern Time. A short while ago, Bonnie Bernstein caught up with Ohio State Buckeyes coach Jim O'Brien.
Jim, we've talked about it all game, how important it was defensively for your guys to stop the transition game. How much of a factor was that tonight?
I think it was a huge factor. I thought that for the most part we did a relatively good job in guarding them in the half court, but they do such a good job in forcing you to do things that you're not comfortable with on offense that it leads to turnovers or it leads to bad shots. And when they do that to you and you're not efficient on offense, that's when they get out and they get transition. And that was the whole thing. I mean, they got so many baskets in transition. That's what really hurt us. Every time we tried to keep it a little bit close, they would just break out and make runs. But our kids hung in there, and we gave ourselves a couple of chances. But they were a very good team tonight.
When you look at the season big picture and all of the tight games against Auburn, against St. John's, tonight against UConn, and the fact that you've only got 2 seniors leaving, how encouraged are you to even just get to training camp for next year?
Well, I'm really not thinking anything remotely close to training camp, Bonnie. This has been a long, tough season for us, but we're very encouraged with the future. You know, we have some good kids coming, a lot of kids returning, so I'm very proud of our team. We had a terrific season, and hopefully we can just build off this from here.
Well, it's been an amazing turnaround. Congratulations on a great season.
Thanks.
All right, Bonnie, thanks very much. Valiant effort by the Buckeyes, but they didn't give themselves much of a chance, shooting just 24% from the floor in the second half of the game in the loss to UConn. We'll continue with more from St. Petersburg right after this message and a word from your local station.
Capture this year's championship excitement for years to come by reserving your copy of the official 1999 NCAA Final Four program. The official program includes detailed information on your favorite teams, players, and coaches. Available now for only $14, you can relive this year's excitement forever without ever leaving your living room. Visit us at www.final4.net or call 1-800-313-4678. Price includes shipping and handling. Get into the action today before it's history.
My dentist says this gum is working, cleaning dirty plaque.
Gets teeth whiter, too.
Whiter teeth, kissable breath.
Arm & Hammer gum with baking soda reduces plaque up to 25% and gets teeth whiter.
This gum does it all. I knew that.
Arm & Hammer gum.
100 years of war divided a nation and brought a mighty people to its knees.
Soldiers are coming.
Soldiers are always coming.
Until the daughter of a peasant ignited the fires of hope and led the fight for freedom.
It is God's will that France is united.
You presume to speak for God?
God speaks for himself.
The television event of the year. Joan of Arc, a world premiere this May on CBS.
The address is CBS. Welcome home! Sorry!
Who called this meeting? I'm out of here.
This portion of NCAA basketball is brought to you by your local Ford store.
Welcome back to Tropicana Field, where approximately 8:17 will tip off the second national semifinal game between the Duke Blue Devils and the Spartans of Michigan State. We'll also be sending you out live to Hoop City, where one lucky fan will get one shot to win $1 million in the Gillette three-point challenge. Right now, pleased to join Rick Majerus, Clark Kellogg, and I as our friend Craig Kilborn, whose late show debuts. It's actually the late show, isn't it?
After Dave.
After Dave. Tuesday night?
Tuesday night, and you know who the first guest is?
Which is what?
Bill Murray is the first guest. Are you kidding me?
That's big time.
It is. We're very fortunate. Second guest is Heidi Klum, who's a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
Oh, that's even bigger time. I want to show our viewers, you know, we have some great jerseys hanging downstairs, and there's Michigan State's, Duke's, Ohio State, UConn.
Oh,
what the heck is that?
There's Kilborn in the corner.
Who is that?
Look at that video. Release, rotation, splash. Oh my gosh, I'm playing defense there.
There is a picture for the ages. You know, I would ask Rick Majerus to comment on the form. I'm not sure he wants to, though.
I like this conversion defense. It was better than Ohio State's right there. He did get back and play deep.
Hey, let's go back to the UConn-Ohio State game, Rick, and your thoughts now after the game.
They got him in the open floor. They stung him as many ways as you can be beat. They got the first big down in transition. They got the layup They got the layup. They got the wing jump shot. They got the trail big. They got the ball in the open floor, and I think a lot of it give Connecticut the credit, but Ohio State had to get the ball under control and stopped and did not.
Clark.
I look at this game from two standpoints. One, I thought UConn's defense was outstanding. Saran wrap D on display. Scooney Penn and Michael Redd simply weren't good enough for the duo of LME and Richard Hamilton. And sometimes it comes down to that. Which stars play better? Tonight it was UConn plus their defense.
And I know I saw you standing down there. You were enjoying this game top to bottom.
Yeah, I was watching up in the CBS skybox, and when Elamine went behind his back, the place erupted, and I found myself high-fiving Sammo Hung. And that's a true story. He's up there. It's good to be part of the CBS family.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck to you Tuesday night. Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn premieres this Tuesday night on CBS after Late Show with David Letterman. A reminder, for complete Final Four coverage with live scores, stats, and more, check out Tournament Live only at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. A timeout and then more from Tropicana Field after this message and a word from your local station.
At Invesco, we know that before we invest your money with a company, we look deep into that company. We know with whom they do business, where they do business, and what kind of business they do. And we even learn a thing or two about who they really are. Invesco, a family of no-load funds. Over 65 years of experience, a global perspective. You should know what Invesco knows.
The address is CBS.
Welcome home.
You've got this huge customer. They're so huge, sometimes they don't even know when they've received a shipment. Whose problem is this? Yours. That's why you ship UPS, because only UPS Total Track captures signatures electronically. Then you can use UPS online software to see your customer's actual signature. So when they say, "We never got it," you can say not only did you get it, but you don't dot your I's. UPS, moving at the speed of business.
Dan, you look good. Lost weight?
Cut the act, Phil. I need to tell management what's happening with our website.
Okay.
In terms they can understand.
Every buck we spend, we'll earn $2 back by the end of the year.
It is not whether you fall down. It is whether you get back up.
It is not the size of the dog in the fight. It is the size of the fight in the dog.
It's not how hard you push along the way. It's having something in you to finish.
Kevin?
Jill?
Nice to meet you. Come in. Want a beer?
Sure.
Be right back.
Well, a beautiful day has turned into a glorious night here in St. Petersburg for anyone visiting this part of the state of Florida, and of course for UConn Huskies and their fans as well, who have moved on to Monday night's championship game. These aerial shots being provided by Goodyear. Coming up, it's the second national semifinal game as Duke faces Michigan State, but now it's out to Scott Lasky at Hoop City for the Gillette three-point challenge. Scott, take it away.
Thanks, Greg. Welcome to the Gillette three-point challenge event. I'm standing along with Alicia Brown from Riverside, California, who in just moments will shoot one NCAA three-point shot for a chance at $2 million. $1 million for her and $1 million for the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation, courtesy of Gillette. Now, also beside us, well, we have a man who we know to be a Basketball Hall of Fame legend, Rick Barry. She just calls him Coach. It's her coach. Things are going well. Tell us, how do you feel right before the shot?
I feel pretty good. Pretty relaxed.
Stay relaxed and good luck. Here we go. Let's listen in on some last-minute thoughts from Coach Rick Barry.
Get your foot down on the line. When you're ready with the ball underneath.
This night is the event's first ever female shooter. She's a player. Alicia started 3 years at point guard for her high school, but can thank Mom for teaching her to play at the age of 8. Yes! 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 It's good! $2 million! Yes! Alicia, come over here. I want to be the first. There's obvious excitement. I want to be the first to ask you, how does it feel to be a 19-year-old millionaire?
Pretty dang good.
What are you going to spend it on?
I'm gonna give half it to my mom, and then I'm probably gonna buy a house or something.
Congratulations, that's tremendous. Jim LeMay has a $1 million check. He's from Gillette. $1 million goes to Alicia Brown, and $1 million goes to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. Wow, we've got a winner. Back to you, Greg.
All right, Scott, thank you. We congratulate Alicia as well. You got a couple of guys here who'd like to give it a shot in just a moment. We'll be back with more after this message and a word from your local station.
If you've never experienced the thrill of Mach 3, it's wake-up time. Introducing Mach 3 from Gillette, the first triple blade shaving system. 3 blades positioned to shave progressively closer. You take 1 stroke, it takes 3. So you don't have to shave over and over, which means less irritation. 3 blades, fewer strokes, less irritation. Mach 3 from Gillette.
I'm an engineer. By definition, that means I'm fascinated with systems, how they work, how they respond. Dell has pioneered a direct system unlike any other. They worked with me, one-to-one, on every custom-built workstation in here, then had everything installed. I'm not interested in the old way of doing business. Dell's listening.
Be direct. Dell. Dell workstations use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
You don't tell people you're #1. Give me the house
I'll
sirloin.
have the house sirloin.
Always have the house sirloin. They tell you.
I'll have the house sirloin, please. Applebee's house sirloin.
America's #1 sirloin steak.
9 ounces.
Char grill.
Great.
Perfect. Now that's a mouth-watering steak. Oh, yeah, that house sirloin.
Oh, so tender and juicy.
Really juicy.
Can't beat that.
6 other great steaks.
Don't miss them.
We didn't make it America's #1 sirloin steak.
I'll have the house sirloin.
You did.
Applebee's house sirloin, please.
The #1 reason you belong at Applebee's.
Dave's got sports bloopers with Marv Albert, Monday on CBS.
The all-new Volkswagen Golf. It's smarter looking, at least.
We didn't kill nobody. What's the worst that can happen? Life!
Universal Pictures and Imagine Entertainment present Eddie Murphy.
I'm from New York City. You mess around with me, it's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
Martin Lawrence.
Your hair's nice and supple, like a lady. I try to moisturize regularly.
From the producer of The Nutty Professor.
That's the warden's daughter.
You know who the daddy of the baby is? Life. Rated R. Starts Friday, April 16th at theaters everywhere.
Here's to you. Thanks for making News 2 Chicago your choice for news.
Welcome back, everyone. Give you some results. Coca-Cola 300, the rain-shortened Coca-Cola 300 today. Mark Martin, the winner, followed by Jeff Burton, Jeff Green, Mike McLaughlin, and Kenny Irwin. Want to remind you tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern Time, it's NASCAR coverage beginning with the Texas 500 pre-race show from the Texas Motor Speedway. 30 minutes later, CBS Sports coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series continues with the Texas 500. That's coming up here on CBS. Coming up, our second national semifinal between Duke and Michigan State. Rick Majerus, take a look at Duke and tell us what kind of a pace they want to set in this game.
They want to set a fast pace, and they'll dictate it as much by the defense as they will running off the offensive rebound. But here's what Duke does. Their defense is characterized by ball pressure, denial, and then tremendous rotation to help. They do perhaps the best job of anyone in America of keeping the ball on one side of the floor.
Clark, what about Michigan State? What kind of game do they want to play?
To counteract all that Coach Majerus just said, I think you really got to do a job trying to score before they get their half-court defense set, Greg. That means pushing the ball up the court. One of the key matchups to watch is Cleves and Avery. And then can Michigan State deny Elton Brand low post position with one guy so they can tag the three-point shooters?
Clark, you and I have talked about the fact that there are teams that want to adjust what they do when they come in and play a team like Duke. And I think Tom Izzo may have learned a lesson from last year and in not adjusting his game, but to go out and play his game no matter who the opponent is.
I think that's what you have to do. If you've gotten this far, then you don't want to be changing things. You want to do what you do best. And I think Michigan State is an outstanding transition team. They do it because they defend and rebound. And if they can do that, I think they've got a chance.
Rick, I want to ask you one more question about Jim Calhoun. It took you 15 years to get to a national championship game. It took him 27 to reach this Monday night. How do you think he's feeling right now?
No one can describe. There's no one in the whole state of Florida, if not the Eastern Seaboard, that feels better than Jim Calhoun. And I'll tell you what, he deserves it.
All right, Coach. Coming up, our second national semifinal game. Duke and Michigan State will join Jim Nantz and Billy Packer courtside right after this. Enjoy the game, everyone, here on CBS.
Hate to tell you, but we're looking at a negative sales trend coupled with high overhead. Frankly, I'm worried about capital preservation. Let me put it this way. Look, we're just not meeting our goals. Tell you what, give me more eggs, I'll give you more corn. Otherwise, we may have to diversify.
Sometimes it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Kinko's, express yourself.
With an 83-year truck heritage behind us, we decided to try something a little different.
Hey! You left your wallet on the trunk!
Introducing the 215 horsepower Rally Sport-inspired Isuzu V-Cross. Theoretically, still a truck.
I am always looking for opportunities. You go into the grocery stores, you go into the shopping malls, and you look for some little investment that perhaps maybe sounds interesting, and then you do the necessary homework and making an investment and slowly watching that investment mature and doing well on it. To me, that gives me a rush. That gives me the excitement because, to me, I'm part of that game. I'm part of that community that's making things happen. And I've always enjoyed that.
Incredible. The readings are off the charts.
Wednesday, Law & Order is a rerun, but on an all-new Chicago Hope, a child dies and a doctor considers the impossible.
The whole idea of cloning is obscene.
All new CBS Wednesday.
Time in St. Petersburg, Florida, and the national semifinals continue here at the Final Four as Michigan State and Duke are about to collide for the second time this season, but this time for the right to advance to the national championship game, where on Monday night the winner of this one will take on the Connecticut Huskies, already advancing with a 64-58 win over Ohio State. Jim Nance, Billy Packer back here courtside. Again, great to have you with us. And Billy, we have something unique here. It's only the third time since the tournament went to 64 teams that we have a 1 versus 2 matchup in a semifinal game. It was Duke back in '86, Coach K's first Final Four team. This will be his 8th trip to the Final Four today. And then 3 years back, Kentucky, the 2, knocked off number 1 UMass and Marcus Camby by 7.
Looks like number 2 is in pretty good shape there, doesn't it?
In fact, overall, if you include regular season meetings, in the 1 versus 2 matchup, the 2 has won the last 4 times.
Absolutely.
How about the Blue Devils, winners of the East Regional?
Well, they really have a great inside presence in Elton Brand, the National Player of the Year. If you're going to let him get the ball down that low, you're in serious trouble. And, of course, this is one of the most prolific three-point shooting teams we've ever seen, right at 40% on the year from the outside. They also are great at the transition game. Their defense becomes their offense. There's Battier posting up for the outside 3 off the steal.
And Michigan State mastered the bracket in the Midwest. How did they do it?
Well, they're one of the toughest basketball teams I've seen in some time. There you see Patine Cleaves with a little bit of a headache, but he came back into the ball game. This is a great rebounding basketball team. Everybody attacks the glass. And they have a man coming off the bench in Granger, hitting three-point shots. It's exactly what they need if they're going to play against this Duke defense.
All right, the Duke trap. We'll see it today. What about it?
In many different ways, Duke plays very aggressive defense. Here we see the 1-3-1 half-court zone trap. They pick up. They're down in the corners. They know how to rotate and overplay the passing lanes. And when they go ahead and make a steal, you'll see in this half-court set, it immediately becomes defense, offense, three-point shot. That's what they love to do to get those great runs they have.
All right, the coaches, Mike Krzyzewski and Tom Izzo, and their keys to this matchup.
Well, defensively, our transition defense, I think, is our #1 key, in stopping their three-point shooting would be #2. If you do those things, then you got to stop Brand inside. So, you know, that's the problem with the Duke.
Defensively, the first thing is to get back. They've really pushed the ball down the court and try to get early offense. Secondly, you have to limit them from getting second and third shots. They're the best offensive rebounding team in the country.
Duke and Michigan State, a pair of #1 seeds, the top 2 teams in the rankings. They'll meet next.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's National Semifinal game is sponsored by Pontiac Transport, Microsoft, Budweiser, and by Enterprise.
If you've been thinking about jumping into a rugged new Montana,
I need more room!
now's a really good time.
Never seen a minivan do that before.
Maybe it's not really a minivan. Life was more exciting in Montana. Now jump into a rugged Montana with this limited time offer. But get a move on because the train's leaving the station.
When you had the idea, you were just a kid. But lately you've had to buy into some pretty adult stuff. Like strategies for attracting and retaining the best employees and maximizing shareholder value. At Arthur Andersen, we help people make those kinds of decisions, which lets them concentrate on things like transforming complex three-dimensional objects into simple digital data. You know, kid stuff. Arthur Andersen, helping in ways you never imagined.
Introducing delivery confirmation for priority mail. Now, what's your priority?
rent a car, because our car is sick.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
Wow!
drive you to our place, and get you on your way.
Everybody loves to be picked up.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
When the basketball ends, the fatherhood begins.
The hell would give you a kid?
This summer,
Do that thing I taught you the other day. That's my boy.
Adam Sandler is
You two got the same size t-shirts on. That's amazing. Ow.
Big Daddy.
How come you're not going?
Only you and my grandfather go every 30 seconds.
Big Daddy.
Can I have a nightlight?
There you go, all right?
This film is not yet rated.
The final hole of the final round, and it's all in my hands. I need to sink this putt.
Mark O'Meara has won the Masters.
I won my first major here at Augusta. A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS.
Hello and welcome to the NCAA Final Four and for tonight's second round semifinal game between the Duke University Blue Devils and the Michigan State Spartans. Let's meet the starting lineups. At forward for Duke, listed at 6'8", is sophomore from Birmingham, Michigan, wearing number 31, Shane Battier. At forward for Michigan State, listed at 6'7", a senior from Grosse-Ile, Michigan, wearing number 44, Jason Klein. At forward for Duke, listed at 6'6", a junior from St. Louis, Missouri, wearing number 23, Chris Carwell. At forward for Michigan State, listed at 6'8", a senior from Flint, Michigan, wearing number 13, Antonio Smith. At center for Duke, listed at 6'8", a sophomore from Petersberg, New York, wearing number 42, Elton Brand. At center for Michigan State, listed at 6'8", a sophomore from Troy Wood, Ohio, wearing number 34, Andre Hudson. At guard for Duke, listed at 6'3", a senior from Anchorage, Alaska, wearing number 21, Trajan Langdon. At guard for Michigan State, listed at 6'2", a junior from Flint, Michigan, number 12, Mateen Cleaves. At guard for Duke, listed at 6'2", a sophomore from Augusta, Georgia, wearing number 5, William Avery. And at guard for Michigan State, listed at 6'3", a sophomore from Flint, Michigan, wearing number 14, Charlie Bell. The head coach for Duke is Mike Krzyzewski, and for Michigan State, Tom Izzo.
Michigan State's first Final Four since 1979. For the Blue Devils, their 5th appearance in the Final Four in the 90s alone. And they defeated Michigan State back on December the 2nd, 73-67. Racing to a quick lead in that one. Billy, how about your Packer points?
Well, the heavyweights on the inside. We talked about Elton Brand being a powerful guy. Both of these guys weighing in about 260, and Antonio Smith holds his ground very well. That will be interesting inside. The unknown soldier, A.J. Granger and Jason Klein. They have got to come big for Michigan State today from the outside with their shooting. And the Blue Bombers, Duke University field goal shooting percentage leaders at the three-point line, shooting right at 40% as a team. You have got to stop their three-point shooting. The bench brigade, I'll tell you what, Michigan State comes off that bench with productive scoring. They've out-handled everybody that they've played this year, but 2 teams off the bench. They are extremely explosive with guys coming off, particularly Granger and Peterson.
The Blue Devils have won their 4 tournament games by an average of 30 points. And Billy, you've been asked it all week. How can Michigan State stay with them?
I think that if they're confident enough to stay with the way they normally play, they don't have to make big adjustments. The key is not to allow Duke University to get into any of those spurts.
David Libby, Curtis Shaw, John Cowell. The officials, and Duke has first possession.
Brand stole that tap. Cleaves, let's look at the matchups that they've got out here early. It's going to be Hudson on Brand, giving up some power inside.
Brand
fade away.
Yeah, for the first 2. How will State start in this game? They were down 13-0 in their first meeting against the Devils back in December.
Leaving Smith open.
Outside, not known as an outside shooter, and Brand clears it.
This is an interesting matchup. Hudson's given up an awful lot of power on Elton Brand.
Battier, and now a 3 by Avery. What a start. Blue Devils already 5-zip.
They are so explosive. Here's a nice matchup here, too. We've seen some great guard play in that first game defensively. Let's see what Avery can do with Cleves. Mateen has that ability to turn that shoulder on a dribble and penetrate. Battier not paying a lot of attention to Smith.
Good pass. Bell baseline, should have had it. Klein chases it down.
Battier kind of playing a one-man zone, letting Antonio Smith roam. That means for driving and penetration, Battier is a guy who can draw charges and block shots. It'll be tough.
Klein off the feed from Hudson. And Tom Izzo's team will not see anything like that 13-0 deficit in game 1, although they did give up a quick 5 in this one.
Important for Klein to get off early in this ball game scoring-wise.
Brand.
I don't think there's any way Hudson can stay with Brand down inside.
And a turnover right off the leg of Cleves. Everyone thought it would be Smith on Brand.
I think they're going to have to go to that. What Tom Izzo might want is the fact that Smith not get in foul trouble early. This is a tough matchup right here, too. Klein, Avery. Avery awful quick for him.
Battier fouled outside. And Smith, you want to keep him out of foul trouble? That's one right there.
Jim, I don't like this matchup at all by Michigan State because Battier is too quick for Smith, and he can take him outside with a three-point shot and drive by him. And then you have Hudson on the inside trying to handle Brand.
He's too physical, right?
I think Tom Izzo's got to get out of that in a hurry. Brand again, double teaming.
Brand, what a move.
He is just too strong for him inside. They've got to make a change there.
6 points for Elton Brand, 9-2 Duke.
Your best putting a body on him, not trying to block his shot, just play position defense.
Line jumper.
Huge shot right there for Michigan State. They've got to get him to make some jump shots.
Wow. Battier, he's wild lately. And a rebound by Smith, and a big one. Brand was up there for it also. Bell, 2-pointer.
Michigan State doesn't mind running because they hit the glass so well.
Smith misses, and Brand is fouled by Bell.
You've got to hit these outside shots, Jim. We talk about taking advantage when you play against Duke. These outside shots are important, and look at how quickly Tom Izzo says, I'm bringing Peterson in the game. He's my 6th man. I usually like to wait a little bit longer than this, but Peterson in the game quickly.
He was their #1 man in the Midwest bracket. Most outstanding player of the Midwest Regional was Morris Peterson. And Klein is out.
Even though he's the 6th man, or called the 6th man, the best in the country because that's what he plays, he was first team all Big Ten.
And Trajan Langdon fouled.
But Bell was right with him on that play.
And how about Duke in the Final Four? Most wins, let's run them down. UCLA at top, with Duke tied with Indiana and Carolina for the total of 11 overall. That's 2 on Bell, by the way, Billy, that last foul.
If that really hurts, that brings Kelly probably into the ball game here quickly. Tom Izzo forced to make some changes.
Battier, 3.
Good job by Smith. Oh, how about that?
Foul on Hudson, who ran over Battier.
You're looking, the man that draws the charges, set all kinds of records last year with 29 charges for Duke. That's the 36th time he has created a turnover for an opponent this year by drawing a charge. You really have to be aware of a 6'8" man's presence. It's not like he sneaks up on you.
Battier's 36 charges taken is a Duke record, breaking a mark he set last year as a freshman. And another whistle.
Holding away from the ball, and maybe a fortunate foul for Michigan State because Avery had turned the corner.
Thomas Kelly whistled for that. That's 5 fouls on Michigan State in the first 3 minutes and 16 seconds.
Well, I'd like to point out to you that Duke has shot 380 more free throws than their opponents this year.
And they've made more than the other
has even shot.
Attempted. That's right. Duke has not been whistled for one to this point. Carrawell bounces it over.
Those hands by Brand, enormous hands.
Doubled up. Avery able to spin away.
Oh, it comes up short.
Cleves. Pass to Hudson and one.
That's Brand from behind. Great job by Mateen Cleves. Penetrates extremely well. Michigan State has everybody on that break, and they can run. You see Brand gets caught trailing. Nobody stops the ball penetration of Cleves, and there's Peterson, who is a great finisher, as is Hudson.
Not a lot of players would have given that one up at the last second. Cleves, though, is the first to tell you, scoring is not my thing. Running this team is.
But, Jim, the team has that ability to accelerate and then stop quickly, so he's almost always under control.
A.J. Granger. He made the All-Midwest team in St. Louis with his play against Kentucky, where he had 14 points and buried 3 out of 3 threes.
Jim, he's 9 for his last 13 shots in the NCAA tournament.
That's traveling.
Pretty good defense by Peterson that time. Duke getting away from what started out to be a very good idea, and that's getting that ball down inside to Brand.
Coach K with 47 wins in the NCAA tournament, which ties him with Dean Smith for second most ever behind John Wooden.
Good offensive set here. Avery trying to keep the ball out of Cleves' hands. Not successful. And so far, Michigan State forcing Duke to play half court at a time, which is what Tom Izzo would like.
Cleves outside. Buries his first shot. It's a 3.
And, Jim, we're talking about a guy that in that phase of his game can be very inconsistent. So, huge shot right there for Michigan State.
Avery slides right past him for an easy 2.
Cleves was looking to see if somebody was going to set a solid screen. When he turned his head, Avery took advantage. And see how quickly Duke likes to score. If you're Michigan State, you want them to work on defense in the half court.
Cleves comes back on Avery. Tough pass, but he got it right there. Smith rejected by Brand. And a timeout on the floor. So after a skittish start by Michigan State, they recover. Devils lead at the first break by 3.
This is Maxwell Middle School. It sits next to the desert on the outskirts of town in Tucson, Arizona. The kids who go here are not well-to-do. They come from hardworking families. What's unusual about this school is that teachers have tried for years to get a job here. Why? Because Maxwell Middle School is using technology in a whole new way. 400 computers networked together for 600 kids means every classroom and every class and every child is using technology. And you know what? It's interesting. Kids who didn't like learning are suddenly liking it. And teachers who've been looking for a way to reach kids are succeeding. Technology is a tool. Software is a tool. When you give kids tools, you give them choices. And that's the best reason we can imagine to make software.
Start something special.
In a car commercial, you expect to see some fine print. Well, here's some of the finest dart print you'll ever see. Right now, get 2.9% financing on all 99 Oldsmobiles. Start something special at your Oldsmobile dealer now.
They think the market's going to go up 20% next year. What are they
Tickets, folks. I'm out.
I keep reading about tax-efficient investing. Should I be doing that?
Everybody else seems.
Let's see. Rates are falling. Inflation's low. More stocks or more bonds.
Hey. Oh, man. This investment strategies for you. Great. Just for me and 5 million other people.
Thank you, Weber.
George Lucas, who gave the world Star Wars, gives Leslie Stahl and 60 Minutes the first look at his latest creation, Sunday.
Duke leads 11-8. Duke with 31 consecutive wins, a school record. But An NCAA tournament all-time win percentage. Look at the Devils. Tops. And that includes Mike Krzyzewski's 47-12 record. This is 8 Final Four championships in 1991 and 92.
And some nice runs by Vic Bubas and Bill Foster as well. 2 other Duke coaches that took teams to the Final Four.
Michigan State and Duke meeting on this floor for the second time. They actually played in the second round game back in '94 here. Boris Peterson's basket rattles out.
Corey Maggette in the ball game now. Brand sits down. Burgess in the ball game as well. Maggette is so quick.
Maggette leaves Peterson on the floor. Burgess with the putback. And Maggette in traffic comes out with it.
Burgess can't believe he didn't finish that one off. Now, Maggette is one of the most explosive players that's come onto the college scene in a long, long time. Mike Krzyzewski gradually put him in the lineup. He was averaging 15 minutes a game, now up to 17. But this young man can take it to the basket.
Andre Hudson now has 2 fouls. And the freshman from Bellwood, Illinois, hits the first.
And Duke, as I said, goes to that free throw line time after time, even though they're the aggressor in most games. And see if they pick up full court on a made free throw.
Getty gets them both.
Here they come, trying to get a trap started. But it's tough to trap this young man right here. Team Cleave's one of the best. Granger posted up inside. Battier fights over the top. Nice job. Setting some real solid screens down on the baseline.
Peterson from the corner.
Trajan Langdon takes it down slowly, looking maybe to get off a three-point shot on the semi-break. Straight man-to-man.
Langdon, long range.
Really was
on fire last week.
Yeah, but he wasn't set for that jump shot, Jim. It seems like he's a little impatient wanting to get his shot off here.
Made 9 out of 12 threes at the Meadowlands in the East Regional games.
Where he was the MVP.
24 and 23 points in those 2 games.
And this is after coming off some injury to his foot that kept him out of ACC play.
State turns it over. Brand back. UConn advanced earlier, 64-58.
Trajan Langdon's going to sit. Johnny Dawkins, Duke's all-time leading scorer and one of the great guards, and he talked about that 86 team. Goes over to talk to him a little bit, try to settle him down, say the shots will come, just be patient. Brand goes back in there with Granger. Granger's got his hands full. They need to double down.
Brand muscles his way in for 2 more. He has 8. Peterson beats him down.
Oh, good block by Burgess.
And Duke comes out. Nope, Kelly had it. Then Burgess to James. Look how quick Duke gets it going.
Good judgment by Burgess to get it back out. Now for the first time, Smith down inside.
Tough shot, Maggette. And Smith lost control of it. Burgess to James.
Burgess coming up, Jim, on both ends of the floor with some big plays. Tom Izzo can't believe it, and he says, guys, we all got to crash inside. We talk about Michigan State's toughness. Right now, Duke is out-toughing them.
And getting every loose ball.
Absolutely. Bad sign if you're Michigan State.
to 8. Blue Devils, Connecticut advancing to the final. Duke's 31-game winning streak.
Jim, in that first game, Michigan State out-rebounded Duke 41-25. So nothing jumps out you more here than watching this early action to see Duke just absolutely beating them to the ball on all loose balls and on most rebounds.
And much was made out of Michigan State's advantage with offensive rebounds, 25-5 from that first meeting, although the Devils weren't missing a whole lot of shots to rebound.
Maggette on Peterson now.
It's an 8-0 run for the Devils.
giving Granger any open looks. You can see the scouting right now down to 6. Kelly's going to have to make a move by himself.
Kelly and Cleaves inside, brings it back out, sets up Kelly from the corner.
Nice job offensive rebounding. Now, if they're going to send their guards inside like that, you watch Duke get some easy baskets here, because you can't have 2 guards on the offensive glass. Nobody in the backcourt to stop the fast break.
Avery stolen by Peterson and retrieved by Smith. They got the numbers, so they push it up. Cleaves outside. Granger, he hit these last week. Short on that one.
This is the game Duke likes to play.
McGetty and one.
This is not what Michigan State wants, to get into some kind of run and battle with this team, particularly with McGetty on the floor. He just explodes. We're talking about a freshman here that can take it to the basket. Early in the season, he went under control a lot of times on the break. You're just not going to cut him off with his power, strength, leaping ability, and strong hands to finish.
The foul on Granger, the 7th team foul, though already in the bonus. 1 shot for McGetty. He debuted, started the season against Fairfield of Connecticut at 17 in his first game, and he hasn't hardly let up. He's the most points by a Duke player in a debut since Billy McCaffrey had 22 his first game back in '89. Devils, they've doubled them up.
Start something special.
In a car commercial, you expect to see some fine print. Well, here's some of the finest dart print you'll ever see. Right now, get 2.9% financing on all 99 Oldsmobiles. Start something special at your Oldsmobile dealer now.
I finally made it for the Final Four here in Tampa Bay. Now it's official. Everyone loves the taste of Pepsi One.
What do you think? Good. You like Pepsi One, don't you? Would you believe me if I told you that was a 1-calorie drink?
No.
What are you calling me, a liar or something?
This is great.
We found it! Pepsi One, we found it! It's only 1 calorie.
I'd buy it even if it had 2 calories.
Pepsi One, a new secret formula. Makes it taste too good to be called diet.
I don't need your tickets! I got Pepsi One!
If you could pay the same low rate for your calls, you'd change forever the way you communicate. Introducing AT&T Personal Network. Now a call from your wireless phone is like a call from your kitchen phone. A call from the airport is like a call from the backyard. Because for $29.99 a month, your calls, even wireless, are just 10 cents a minute. Call 1-800-4ATT now or visit our website. AT&T Personal Network. 10 cents a minute, no matter how you call. Call 1-800-4ATT now.
Hertz Freedom Rates, only $28.99 a day in California and Florida, with the freedom to pick up and drop off anytime. Just keep it over a Saturday night. Hertz will provide the great rates.
Can we go back to the room now?
The rest is up to you. Hertz Freedom Rates, only $28.99 a day in California and Florida, with the freedom to pick up and drop off anytime. Just keep it over a Saturday night. Hertz will provide the great rates. The rest is up to you.
She's like any other woman, except she's not of this earth. Makeover season has begun. Species, CBS Tuesday.
Duke has not trailed in this game. They lead by 10.
Jim, that storied conference we talked about with the ACC having such an outstanding record in the NCAA. They've had 7 ACC teams that have gone undefeated in the conference. Of those 7 teams, 1957, North Carolina won a national championship. 1974, North Carolina State won a national championship. The others, the answer was no. So Duke's trying to do something that 2 of their predecessors have accomplished.
Well, for the second time this season, they have jumped all over Michigan State early. Not quite as severe for State as it was back in December, but nonetheless down 10, just 8.5 into the game.
Carrawell now on Cleaves, the taller man. And Carrawell can play a lot of different positions defensively. Good fake.
Peterson short. Hudson follows it up, though.
There's that offensive rebounding. Brand thought he had the rebound. Hudson went right in front of him. Nobody blocking out. Trajan Langen not yet able to get started offensively. Michigan State doing a much better job with Smith down inside on Brand. He just gets enough power to stay with him.
Double up on Carrawell. And Brand takes it away from Smith. Cleaves reaches in, and he touched it last.
How strong do you have to be to take the ball away from those hands?
How strong do you have to be to recover from the collision with Eduardo Nahara, as he did last week?
And come back into the game. He said he had a slight headache the next morning.
I had a headache just watching it. Brand
lost it, handled. He doesn't do that often.
On the floor.
They tried to call timeout, but they didn't have possession of the ball, so they couldn't call it.
Battier, they say, you're out of bounds. Michigan State ball.
You can hear the Duke players hollering, timeout, timeout. Now, that works if your teammate has possession of the ball, but it was loose. Michigan State making a nice little comeback here. Not letting Duke get in a big spurt.
Michigan State learned something about coming all the way back last week against Kentucky, down 13. Inside, Granger unable, Michigan State unable to finish, and a whistle.
Cleaves on a reach-in. Duke early on, Jim, getting themselves building up a big margin on the foul line.
Tonight on CBS, Martial Law after the Final Four, starring Sammo Hung and Arsenio Hall. After the game tonight on CBS, Martial Law. So 1-1, Avery.
Excellent free throw shooter off to the side. And if Michigan State can start converting on their half-court set, they're doing a pretty good job keeping this game in a half-court pace. Second jumper of the day for McKean, nothing there.
Smith is there. He should try it again. Wide open this time. Too strong. And Brand picks up his 5th rebound.
The way Michigan State sends guys to the boards, I'm really surprised Duke is not releasing somebody on the floor right now, a guy like Trajan Langdon.
Avery. Out to Klein.
Good
ahead
rebound.
to Cleaves. Will he challenge Langdon? Nope. Peterson. And there he is, their leading scorer and their 6th man.
And Jim, one of the things Michigan State is doing a good job, when they do have the break, they're not walking the ball down the floor. They're trying to run on Duke when available. Get some cheap baskets. And that switch, bringing Smith back over to Brand, has taken away one of Duke's big offensive weapons.
Langdon has not scored. Carrawell underneath.
Hudson gave up the baseline. Nobody to help. There's the big man running. Smith. Great pass. Elton Brand sleep at the switch there. He's going to come out. Mike didn't like that one. Great job by Antonio.
22-16 Duke.
Oh, good fake.
Battier. Hudson. Oh, that was a huge call traveling. Hudson standing there with 2 fouls.
Charlie Bell returns for Michigan State. Also Burgess.
And Smith converting.
Jim, that's just good hustle on the part of Smith. He's playing down one end of the floor, and he just beats his man down court. Michigan State hanging in there. What coaches have wanted to do all tournament against this Duke team. See what they'll do if they have to play in a close game.
This is what the Spartans did so effectively last week, even though they fell behind 13 to Kentucky. Eventually, they settled the game down to their type of game, half-court game, didn't they, Billy?
Absolutely.
Hudson fading away.
Very tough shot. Burgess, another big play. Bell has done a fine job on Trajan Langdon, just not giving him any looks from the outside.
Maggette on Klein.
Wow, no call.
Maggette put back.
Maggette just seems to power his way to the basket. There was no opening right there for the drive and made it anyway.
7 points for Maggette.
Pretty good screen by Klein.
Cleves lost it. Langdon ahead to McGetty. Forget about it.
Jim, that's what is available for Duke. If their guards are going to go inside to penetrate and try to rebound, then there is nobody back for defensive balance. Duke finally released somebody.
Back to a 10-point Duke lead, matching the largest of the game.
Big hedge move by Burgess, a little give and go by Michigan State.
Cleves in traffic, and a foul outside. A reach-in. A reach-in foul called against Burgess.
Jim, we're seeing some very good backdoor cuts by Michigan State, their guards and the forwards. But if McLean is inside, if Cleves is inside, you release a man, you got a break.
Beer is the best it can be at the brewery, fresh and at its peak of taste. Light, heat, and age are all enemies of beer that work against its taste from the moment it leaves the brewery. Budweiser's 12 local breweries ensure that your Budweiser is fresh and has not been subject to long trips. So you might say your Budweiser has less miles on it, and that means it'll taste like it does straight from its source.
Recently, we heard about this one Saturn owner who was taking a trip cross-country.
Welcome to Saturn.
I think I hit a rock.
Everything checked out with the car. Really? That's weird.
And every couple hundred miles or so, he'd stop in with a little problem.
Could have been a cactus. It was rolling. It may have been a prairie dog.
Only he didn't realize all of our service facilities are linked up to a nationwide network of computers that provide us with important information about each and every Saturn. And in some cases, their owners.
As an architect, I think if it can be imagined, it can be built. Dell has the same philosophy, only they didn't just imagine what we needed, they found out. Before they built our servers and workstations and had them installed, they came to see us around the world. Dell pioneered this direct way. They aren't selling me a box, they're selling a smarter way.
Be direct. Dell. Dell workstations use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
New York, the Big Apple. Hey, you guys think you got game? You got nothing. Home of the #1 world champion. Biggest and the baddest police. Ah, you ain't got nothing. You call that a squeegee? You call that a kiss? I'm gonna be late. Get a hotel room.
Ever wonder why New Yorkers have such big mouths?
You got nothing.
Because we eat big pizza, like the big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. 16 inches of real New York pizza dripping with cheese at a very un-New York price.
$9.99. Where do you think this is? Indiana?
The big New Yorker, new from Pizza Hut. It's beautiful.
You cannot give up cheap baskets if you're going to play against Duke. Now, here's a guard for Michigan State. Here's a guard for Michigan State. Look at the area out here. Nobody in defensive balance. And watch what happens for Duke on the transition basket. There's the steal. Nobody back for defensive balance. Off goes McGetty. An easy two. If a guard's going to penetrate on the inside, the other guard has to shift to the top of the key.
Granger is back. Duke with a school record 31-game win streak. Michigan State with a school record 22-game win streak. What will give here in St. Pete? Michigan State shooting only 30% from the field thus far. Doug Davis is in at the point. Cleves is on the bench.
Good cut inside by Peterson, and there's Battier with a great block.
Ahead, McGetty, they let him too much.
Not a good idea. Now, what's really interesting in this situation, we'll see Battier, the tremendous defender that he is, go right up there, the ball on the way up, good hands. And there's Duke setting up their trap that we showed you, the 1-3-1 full court trap.
Davis bounced it off the back of Bell's leg, but recovers.
Duke adjusts from a 1-3-1 zone full court back into their half-court man-to-man. Takes some work defensively to do that as a team.
Smith inside. Beautiful.
Good footwork.
Antonio Smith.
Mike Krzyzewski just trying to get some minutes out of Burgess now to keep Brand out of foul trouble and rested. Requiring Smith to play, as he does, an awful lot of minutes. Oh, what a crossover.
Avery trying to get it in the lane, right back to him. McGetty at 3.
So far, the Duke team has not hit from the outside, primarily because Langdon hadn't been touching it much. He's got that one.
And for Langdon, his first points of the night.
Michigan State's done a pretty good job, Jim, defensively against the three-point shooting of Duke.
Duke 1 out of 5 from 3. Peterson, shot. What a soft touch. At the last moment, he wanted to pass it and was forced to take it.
And you have to be so careful when you penetrate like that because of Battier, who not only can block shots, but draws those charges. A little two-man game here. Avery loves to penetrate and kick out to Trajan Langdon.
Battier, Smith on him.
Oh, what a shot. And, you know, Smith is not a shot blocker. He stays on the ground. So Battier probably in the scouting report understood that. So just put it up through his face. He's a position defender, is Smith. Peterson knows he can take Burgess. He's a lot quicker. He's a lot quicker.
Push-off called on Burgess. Get inside the Final Four with box scores, team stats, and recaps in the Game Center, only at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. Brand returns. He has 8 points, 7 rebounds.
And Smith goes out. So you've got a rested Brand in the game. You have for Michigan State the one guy that can guard him going out. So look for Duke to go down inside to Brand now. Boy, they're not giving Granger any open shots, are they?
Just had that 1-3 that he misfired.
Kentucky let him post up out there, and Duke saw those films, and they're not going to give any open threes. Oh, Battier on Cleese. Cleese wants to take him one-on-one. Nice job.
Switch.
Yeah, sure was. Smart play by those two guys.
10 on the shot clock.
Well, Elton Brand is guarding Granger like he's the best outside shooter in the country.
Watch Cleves. Whoop. Ball is kicked.
Put it all back on the clock.
They should reset it. They do.
Sure does.
Well, we go to the third straight break with the Blue Devil margin 10 over Michigan State.
Stuck with a flat tire? Not with this tire. Even with no air pressure, you drive to safety. Aquasteel Run Flat. Don't get stuck. Get there.
Good year, good year.
Cellular One, clear across America.
A professional doesn't depend upon the easy way out. He depends upon his equipment. That's why professionals have been driving GMC for nearly a century. Like this GMC Jimmy with a full-length steel frame. So it has the backbone to give you comfort and support, even when the pavement doesn't. Right now, buy a 99 Jimmy and get 2.9% APR financing. The Jimmy looks pretty good, too. But then a true professional always knows how to dress well. Jimmy by GMC. Backbone standard.
For over 70 years, our business has been helping generations of families live a better life. With retirement plans, life insurance, consumer loans. We're American General Financial Group. 50,000 men and women, over $100 billion in assets, helping over 12 million people live the life they've imagined. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
If you still haven't seen the hottest action show on TV, check out an all-new martial law at a special time. CBS tonight.
And there he is, martial arts superstar Sammo Hung, watching his first ever basketball game live. Sammo of martial law. He'll have his show on tonight after the game right here on CBS. These two have watched a few games, though. How about that?
1975, they faced each other in Coach Wooden's last Final Four. Coach Wooden winning the semifinal game against Louisville.
Coach and pupil.
Yep.
Right there.
Denny Crum is a valuable assistant during some of those national championship years. Denny, of course, winning the national crown twice one time against this very Duke club in '86.
Here's Granger in the corner, baseliner, and too strong.
Well, what a rebound by Brand, right in between two good rebounders, Peterson and Hudson.
Michigan State not getting that bench production it's been getting all tournament long.
No, they aren't, but they're being well defended and well scouted. Granger's not getting any real open looks. I think Duke ought to go into Brand now with Smith out of the ball game. There's nobody going to guard him down in low by themselves. Here he is.
Look at that move. Comes up short, and snaring it there is Granger.
What Elton should hear is get the ball inside and pop it out. There's Granger's shot that he's been hitting all tournament. Just can't get it to drop today.
Looked like Langdon may have gotten away with a palm.
Well, as long as the ball's on top of the ball, even if it's a strange-looking dribble, that one was okay. You know, Trajan Langdon's been slipping a lot, Jim. I don't know if it's the floor or his sneakers.
Battier, top of the key.
Elton Brand taps it.
Nice play there by Peterson to prevent two.
Brand just trying to keep it alive for himself.
Coming up, Pennzoil at the half with Greg and Clark and Utah head coach Rick Majerus. First half analysis, plus they'll be joined live by Jim Calhoun as the UConn Huskies have advanced to the championship game. That's all coming up on Pennzoil at the half.
Jim, Sean Battier taking a lot of threes. Now, at one point in his career in '98, he missed 20 straight three-point shots. Duke right now, their patented three-point shooting just 1 for 6. They've got to have the right guy shooting the threes to get on track there. And it's not Battier, it's this guy right here.
Avery, and look at that rebound by Kelly.
Avery gets back on defense, but Kelly beats him.
Kelly needs some help.
Oh, look at Avery.
Almost gets away with it. Wow.
And you know what a good defensive play that is if you can be quick enough to go around Mateen Cleaves. But Duke really having a problem on something is one of their real weapons, and that's outside three-point shooting. And the way that they've extended these large margins in the tournament is being very prolific in that area.
That lead has been at 10 for the bulk of this game. Never above 10. Granger turnaround, spins out, and Brand is having some kind of rebounding game. That's 10 rebounds already. Double team on the end, and Mateen Cleaves who reaches in.
Good smart play by Mateen Cleaves.
Peterson, all air.
And Mike Krzyzewski not happy with his offense. Gets the timeout, even though he might have had numbers, Jim, to show you that he has a real game plan in mind there.
Well, we had Ohio State from the Big Ten in game 1, Michigan State in this one, and in the 90s, well, ACC delivering 2 teams to the Final Four, 90 and 91. SEC did it back-to-back, well, 94 and 96, I should say.
And of course, Jim, probably never before in 91 we had UNLV coming in with that undefeated powerhouse nobody thought anyone could beat, and Duke pulled off one of the great upsets in Final Four history.
For in-depth tournament stats, go to cbs.sportsline.com. You talked about Michigan State's rebounding advantage in the first game between these two. They're down 10 to Duke in this one, rebounding-wise and score-wise.
And what's balancing that off, Jim, is that Duke is not shooting well on the perimeter. So they're controlling the boards, but not doing anything on the perimeter. Michigan State goes a little zone there.
Pass to Battier, and there they break the ceiling. It's up to 12 for the first time in the game.
Nice timeout by Mike Krzyzewski. They went zone. Duke getting away. When Brand gets the ball, he's got to be looking to pass because they're doubling down on him. Trajan Langen on Peterson, giving up a little size here.
Spartans have gone 4.5 minutes without a point.
They can't hold it until the end. Battier sitting down defensively.
3 on the shot clock. Sleeves. And Duke can take one shot. Coach K signals for it.
Now, watch for penetration by Avery. Trajan Langen wiping his shorts, saying, penetrate and kick it out to me, and I'm going to drill one. And Kelly better really have his mind set on this. And you can see Michigan State not wanting to get that ball to Avery, but too late.
7 seconds. Avery surveying. Avery between 2 defenders puts it up. Brand has another rebound in time, but it doesn't go.
Not really what they wanted, Jim. Too hard a shot by Avery. I'm surprised he didn't kick it out.
But Duke dominates the first half here. 32-20.
Not pretty, however. When you don't hit the perimeter shots, you got to do a lot of struggling. They did their struggling off the boards and were very effective there.
All right, let's go over to Armin Katayan. Armin?
Thank you, Jim. I'm with Quinn Snyder, the associate head coach at Duke. Certainly not your most impressive game inside, offensively or outside, but great defensive pressure.
Yeah, well, Elton had some success inside. You know, they're a real physical defensive team, and they've taken us out of our stuff. They're switching stuff in the perimeter, so we haven't gotten a lot of touches, and it's been hard to score, but we're playing pretty good defense, too.
All right, thanks, Quinn. Jim?
All right, at the end of the first half, the score, Duke 32, Michigan State 20. And CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship continues after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's National Semi-Final game is sponsored by Volvo, Nike, American General, and by Goodyear.
I found I was missing all sensation of sight. It was so dark underground, we had seen no light for days. It was visible how there was the enemy. Like that they were fighting against their better nature.
For those who combine a passion for living with a passion for living. The Volvo C70 convertible.
Craig Kilborn premieres Tuesday on CBS.
Over the years, a lot of businesses have put their names on one line of trucks, the one that's overall the most powerful line of pickups on the road, the one that was first to offer quad cab versatility, and the first and only full-size pickup to receive J.D. Power & Associates' Most Appealing Award 4 years running. We understand this name thing. We're pretty fussy about what we put ours on, too. Dodge Ram. The rules have changed.
A stick, a stone, it's the end of the road. É resto de toco, a little alone. É peroba do campo, é nó da madeira. Canga, candeia, é Matita Pereira. A spear, a spike, a point, a nail, a drip, a drop, the end of the tale. É peixe, é gesto, é uma praia.
Forget everything you know.
What is happening to me?
All I can tell you is that you're in danger.
Forget everything you've seen.
Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye.
On March 31st, The Matrix has you.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what The Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
The Matrix, rated R, starts Wednesday, March 31st. CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
That's just a beautiful sight from on high. Welcome back, everyone, to St. Petersburg, Florida, the site of the Final Four. At halftime, Duke is leading Michigan State by a score of 32-20, and these aerial shots, as always, being provided by Goodyear. And welcome to Pennzoil at the Half. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Clark Kellogg. and Rick Majerus. You know, as you take a look at this first half, you have to wonder, well, first of all, where has Mateen Cleaves gone? Just 3 points so far.
Well, they only scored 20 as a team, and the only way you have a chance, I think, to beat Duke is you got to put the ball in the hole. They're being dominated on the glass, haven't found out how to handle Elton Brand, and as a result, they're down double digits.
Rick, considering it was Michigan State's lowest scoring half of the year, I don't think we've given Duke's defense enough credit up till now.
No, and I'll tell you what, Duke did exactly as we had talked about in the pregame show. They got a hand up on every shot. They've got ball pressure extraordinaire. They've got the denial D in the rotation. They really make you earn every basket, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing in transition.
All right, let's remind you of what happened in Game 1 of the national semifinals here this evening. The UConn Huskies moved on with a victory. Richard Hamilton on the drive here for 2 of his 24 points on the night. And then watch Hamilton with the assist here. The nice long pass to Khalid El Amin on the run. 18 for him. They combined for 42 of the Huskies' 64 points. And El Amin, in addition to scoring his 18, had 6 assists. A very nice one here as the Huskies eliminate Ohio State. The score is 64-58. We now welcome to our set Coach Jim Calhoun of the UConn Huskies, who advanced to Monday night's national championship game. Once again, Coach, our congratulations to you. Considering it's been such a long, tough road for the UConn Huskies during this past decade, what'd you tell your team after the game?
Well, I told them I was very proud of them. I thought we played terrific defense, okay offense, but the big thing is that we're playing Monday night. And this is not a great time for me to scold them or any type of thing. Basically what to do is just relax and really enjoy the moment. And then by later on tonight, we'll start getting ready for the winner of this game.
When did you decide who you were going to put Ricky Moore on? I know that was a concern when we talked to you last week.
Probably when I saw Ohio State steal the ball against Barkley, I knew that, or felt anyways, that the key to their team is Scooney Penn, because not only does he score points, but he makes other folks better. And if he was able to leak our defense, by that I mean penetrate our defense, I thought we had problems. And the best defender I've coached in 27 years is Ricky Moore, so that decision was an easy one. I didn't really know what to do with Red, but we obviously used Kevin Freeman, some more size on him, so he couldn't get the post-ups. If he made jump shots, we thought that was all right, but we didn't want him posting us up.
Your defense was superb. Let's say the opponent is Duke. Are you going to try to run with them? Do you want to get that up-tempo game going?
You know, that's a great question, Vic. I think we really need to decide how much tempo we really want, because clearly in the past 6, 7, 8 years in basketball, I don't know if I've seen a better offensive team. So if we're ready to just kind of hang it out there and just go offensive end-to-end, I'm not so sure that's a great idea. We need to go up and down, but I don't know if we do have to do that for 40 minutes.
How confident were you about Khalid El Amin coming back from what was a subpar performance for him last week?
Yeah, just the same way that I believe in Khalid, in Ricky Moore's defense. There was big spotlights here today, and K is a spotlight game. He loves spotlight games, and he seems to really thrive on it. He was talking to me all week about how poorly he played against Gonzaga, and Coach, it's going to be 42,000 there, and I said, oh yeah, and people all over the world will be watching you. I knew he'd be ready. He's that type of player.
Coach, what are your impressions of the first half of what we've just seen here in this game?
Mike, well, you know, obviously, I think Tommy Izzo's talked a great deal about his difficulties at times of having droughts offensively. I think the key, as Rick had mentioned before, the drought is being caused by great pressure defense. If they do not allow you a free look at the basket, not any penetration at all, and if they don't get points, obviously you cannot beat Duke without having the ball go in the basket for you.
Convey to the audience your emotions. Tell us what you're feeling.
I actually feel great, but I have to hold back because I have to, you know about this, I have to coach a basketball team on Monday night, and somewhere when I'm taking a 3-foot putt this year and I'm missing it, I'll say, you know, I'm really reflecting now on the Final Four and how great it was, and that's why I missed this 3-foot putt. But right now, my job is to get our basketball team. This is a moment in time for us. It's a chance Monday night to win a national championship, and I would be remiss if I didn't try to prepare my team as best. But clearly, like any other coach, I mean, I'm feeling awfully good. Someone said to me, a lot of work tonight. I said a lot of happy work tonight.
The UConn flag is flying high over the state capitol. Obviously, so are you. We'll see you Monday night, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
You bet. Congratulations. This reminder, for complete Final Four coverage with live scores, stats, and more, check out Tournament Live only at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter the keyword CBS Sportsline. Thank you very much for watching Pennzoil at the half. Jim Nance and Billy Packer will be back with the second half of Duke and Michigan State when we continue live from St. Petersburg, Florida. Right after this, take a look at Corey Maggette. Big first half, big Duke Blue Devils first half. They're in charge. We'll be back.
Pennzoil at the half has been sponsored by Pennzoil. specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
The Accord Coupe from Honda. How will it affect you?
Some things just don't mix. Like drinking and driving.
The 2000 NCAA Final Four tips off April 1st and 3rd in the RCA Dome, Indianapolis. To receive an official ticket application, visit the NCAA website at ncaaChampionships.com. Call 913-236-9400 from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Central Time, or write to this address. Ticket applications are available until April 30th, 1999. Tickets will be sold by a random drawing of applications. This message furnished by the NCAA.
I never dreamed until I started gambling that I would be so grabbed by it.
I wasn't really thinking at the time. I looked at it as an opportunity to pick up, you know, some money. And I guess at the time, you know, you're not really looking at the consequences. The worst time is just seeing my mom's face and the hurt that I brought to her.
And you think to yourself, how did I get into this and how am I going to get out of this? It's a pretty desperate feeling.
Monday, it's the night of the NCAA Finals, and Raymond's in training.
Sorry, no sex before a game.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Then, see the moves, feel the excitement when March Madness hits the King of Queens.
Well, I'm pretty wired, but that's what the pills are for.
The King of Queens after Raymond at a special time on CBS Championship Monday.
The cops of the Turk family all have one thing in common.
He damn near got himself killed.
A love for living on the edge. Turks, all new CBS Thursday.
Duke puts the clamps on the Spartans in the first half, only 29% from the floor. And how about this? Elton Brand with 13 rebounds in that first half, almost matching Michigan State's number of 14. We'll return to St. Petersburg after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
With an 83-year truck heritage behind us, we decided to try something a little different.
Hey! You left your wallet on the trunk!
Introducing the 215 horsepower Rally Sport-inspired Isuzu V-Cross. Theoretically, still a truck.
CBS tonight. These bank robbers planned the perfect heist.
You fall or you die!
But they didn't count on Samo, Arsenio,
Cancel that reservation.
and Kelly Hu.
By the way, we have a warrant.
Kevin James guests on an all-new martial law. Rookies. Special time, CBS tonight.
He was a man of God who lost his faith until a miracle gave him a reason to believe.
Did God save this child?
Look, an angel.
John Ritter, Holy Joe, CBS Sunday.
Can't wait? Don't have to. The new Star Wars is on 60 Minutes Sunday.
Done.
It's green. It's green.
The all-new Volkswagen Golf. It's smarter looking, at least.
Thank you for calling Star Garage.
Give your customers the help they need whenever they need it with a self-service website by IBM.
What stands between you and your goal? Will you give into it? Or fight through it? Will you fear it? Or embrace it? Will you hold back? Or hold nothing back? When you need something extra, when it counts the most, will it be there? Gatorade, is it in you?
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's National Semi-Final game is sponsored by Genuine Chevrolet, Pennzoil, First Union, and by AT&T Net.Working.
8 different Duke players have scored in this game, and they lead by 12, the Devils over the Spartans.
Pepsi One presents the Virtual Playbook.
Here we're going to see a Duke team that plays defensively as well as they play offensively. Elton Brand recognizes what happened on that lob. He leaves his man to go down to create some inside help. There goes the ball over the top. Watch Brand recognize what's happening, fill in the spot, and double team down in the low post. Duke's defense is off again to be their offense.
Let's match up your game analysis with first half performance and see how it shakes out.
Well, Jim, it's kind of working out as expected. Brand just too strong in the inside until Smith was switched over him. 13 rebounds. He's getting the job done. The unknown soldier. I said he had to step up for Michigan State. Obviously, Klein and Granger are not doing that. They're sitting there with 2 and 0 points. The Blue Bombers. Now, this is what is making the game as close as it is. Duke only 1 for 7 from three-point line. We're talking about a team that shoots 40%. That is the factor, negative factor for Duke. The bench brigade, you can see Duke outscoring Michigan State. Michigan State's only had 2 teams that has done that against them all year. So Duke doing a great job off the boards and off the bench as well.
Izzo's side held scoreless the final 5 minutes, 13 seconds of the first half. By the way, Billy, Michigan State's 20 points, that's a season low in the first half, while Duke's 32 points ties a season low for the Blue Devils in first half action on the season.
Well, Jim, Brand's 13 rebounds may seem a lot, but Bill Russell holds the all-time record in the Final Four with 27, which he had against Iowa back in 1956. So Elton about halfway there.
Yeah, he's on pace to give it a run. Cleaves, nice shot.
Good pull up, nobody on him. Breakdown in the Duke defense. Bell doing a good job on Trajan Langdon, who has not been able to get many looks at all today to score. He's trying to use the screens down inside to get free for the jump shot.
Carrawell lanes in. And out to Battier. Another second chance. Langdon, nope. And Hudson. It's on Battier. Let's go over to Bonnie Bernstein quickly. Bonnie?
Jim, Tom Izzo was absolutely livid in the locker room at halftime about his team's rebounding. That is really one of their fortes. Only one team has out-rebounded Michigan State all year. They've got to do better on that. Also look for them to double Elton Brand more inside the paint, Jim.
And in that first half, 28 to 14. Double the advantage for the Devils.
Duke comes out a little slow, though, Jim. This is a team that likes to explode at the start of the second half. Michigan State doing a good job staying with them right here.
Smith, the jumper they opened the game with, the same kind of attempt. Nice save by Bell.
And remember, this Michigan State was down to Duke in the game earlier this year and made the good, solid comeback.
Yeah, they got within 3 in that one, Billy, after being down 21 to 4. Climbed within 3, but lost by 6.
And Duke now 1 for 8 from the three-point line, and that is not characteristic of that team.
Battier second. You have to wonder if the comeback completion against Kentucky last week certainly sent a message to this bunch. Fine, you can't believe that kid could miss it by that much.
That was Carrawell with a defensive job on him. Came right across him and altered his shot.
Avery, backspin, Cleaves.
Well, he uses that chest when he drives in just to keep that defender off him.
Avery hoping to meet his high school teammate and high school mentor, if you will, Ricky Moore, in the championship game Monday night. They both played at Westside High School in Augusta. Moore, 2 years his elder.
Steal from behind. Beautiful pass.
Avery.
And again, Jim, you see when Cleves drives, Duke can release somebody on the break. Michigan State doing a very poor job with defensive balance. That time it was Klein.
And Michigan State now with its biggest deficit of the tournament, down 14. Wraparound pass, Hudson converts, and a nice pass from Cleves.
Set play. Michigan State does a great job screening on the inside, moving well without the ball. Give Michigan State a lot of credit for the way they're defending the three today. Line on Trajan Langdon. He'd like that matchup.
Push off on Klein.
Yeah, there's no way that Klein can stay with him. And a matter of fact, Tom Izzo is going to have to get Klein out of the ball game. He really has a bad matchup there.
Peterson comes in for him.
Well, that was an obvious move that he had to make.
So 4 Flint players on the floor right now. The Flintstones, as they're known, for Michigan State. Carrawell, and into the arms of Smith.
Smith does such a good job getting position on his rebounding.
Lob to Peterson, and Langdon got him on the way up.
That was all that Peterson could do, is to try to take that to the basket. Good job on his part with the catch.
Talking about the Flintstones, Cleves and Smith, they've known each other since they were 9 years old. Charlie Bell, who's the all-time scorer at, well, in that area of Flint, and Morris Peterson.
Of course, Antonio Smith was the first to come and kind of led the way to the others. Tom Izzo really feels that he has been like the foundation of this fine Michigan State team.
Maggette in. Nice first half for the freshman. Maggette in the first half had 9 points. Langdon out.
Nice touch.
And there's the Flint cheering section, hoisting signs earlier that said yabba dabba doo.
And here's a zone defense for Michigan State. Now, when they won the national championship in '79, they played one of the best matchup zones that's ever been played in college basketball.
Over the top,
and it works
off.
this time.
Yep.
Cleves looking down court. Somebody better stop his dribble.
Pulls up and connects. So 6 unanswered for the Spartans.
And Mike Krzyzewski has to call timeout. Can you imagine allowing Mateen Cleves to dribble the length of the floor and nobody guarding him?
These kids are tough from Michigan State, and there's no quit at all in the Flintstone bunch. Tonight on CBS, check out the cops who know something about the fast break and the slam dunk. Marshall Law, Sammo Hung, and Arsenio Hall coming up after the game. He scored a basket there. He's never been to a game, but he certainly knows how to dunk it. There are the Flintstones.
You know, one of the things that we're seeing today, Jim, is some ugly basketball because the defense has done a lot better in both games than has the offense. So nothing's been pretty. It's been a struggle the whole way. And there again.
No, it was not touched by Michigan State. Langdon's making an appeal.
The official said he never saw it. There was a screen and a roll. Langdon thought he had it, but not a good pass. Trajan not having a very good basketball game so far, coming off an outstanding East Regional.
Peterson making the move. Comes up way short.
There's Smith again.
Put back. And look at them back into the game and within 6. An 8-point run on the Devils.
Boy, that double team inside is something on brand now, unlike the start of the game when they tried to play him one-on-one. Doubling down inside, and here's Smith again. The great position guy he is on the glass on both ends of the floor, and with those powerful hands puts it back up. He just uses those 265 wide-bodied pounds to get position.
Izzo's first recruit, Antonio Smith.
And here's the zone. They're taking the chance to say Duke's not having a good three-point game. Let's see if we can change defenses and make sure they don't put it up from out there.
Lob over the top to Brand. Oh, and a foul. Called on Smith.
I think Elton Brand got away with a push on that one. Now, because of their perimeter shooting, they're able to spread this defense out an awful long way. There's Elton Brand, first-team All-American. He's about covered it all there, Jim. ACC Player of the Year and Tournament MVP as well.
And for many, he's been their National Player of the Year. Just the 4th player in the 90s to be a unanimous first-team All-America, with Christian Laettner, Glenn Robinson, and Tim Duncan, the other 3.
Michigan State in the lane. It doesn't make any difference.
A timeout on the floor. This lead at one time was 14 in this half, but the Spartans have slammed that number down to 8.
Okay, babe, here we go. Now, move over to the right. No, the other way, my right. A little more. A little more. Perfect.
How was it?
Beautiful.
If you think the Cavalier looks good, wait till you know it can go up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. Chevy Cavalier. The more you know, the better it looks. Genuine Chevrolet.
I want to like Rebecca, I really do. But she thinks Miller Lite tastes great because it's smooth.
And Rick thinks it's because of the choice hops.
And even if we could get past that, we'd still argue over whose work sells the most sports magazines.
Okay, in-depth analysis of the nickel defense or fishnet bikinis. You decide.
Look, Rebecca, guys buy sports magazines for great sports writing.
Oh, great. So I guess we'll be seeing that Rick Riley sports writing calendar any day now.
Oh, man.
Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer.
You enter the financial world in search of a secure future. Instead, you find chaos and confusion. 9,000 companies to invest in.
Welcome to Market Mania!
10,000 mutual funds to choose from.
Hot stock right here!
Bonds, T-bills, commodities, precious metals. With new and unfamiliar choices emerging every day. The possibilities are overwhelming. Fortunately, there's a beacon in this complex world. An experienced partner who, for half a century, has helped tens of thousands of individuals and families find comfort instead of confusion. Come to the mountain called First Union. Or if you prefer, the mountain will come to you.
This is a cool way to see the games. Stats, play-by-play, shot charts. I love technology. Tournament live, only at cbs.sportsline.com.
Jim Nance and Billy Packer back at the national semifinals. There is one player that will suit up next year for Michigan State who was a starter at Duke, Mike Chappell. He transferred in the offseason, over the summer, if you will, and there he is in the stands. A year ago, he played here in the regional and hit 2 threes in the game against Kentucky, where the Cats came back.
Jim, he started 21 of their first 22 games last year and averaged 7.1 a game. We're talking about a pretty solid basketball player.
Sitting out the year, and no doubt will be a big part of the Spartan program beginning next year. Peterson over everyone.
He loves that floating left-hander, and a double team by Duke did not pay off.
The super sub is starting to warm up.
Jim, Trajan Langdon is 1 for 4, 2 points. And he has had some problems in postseason play. Didn't affect him in the Eastern Regional, but in both 97 and 98 he had problems. There's Brand finally getting some opening without the double team.
He almost looks unstoppable when he sets up that move. Brand with 12 points. Hudson.
Nice shot.
A quick answer at the other end.
Elton Brand posted up right behind him defensively, and Hudson just went over him. Elton is not a tall guy. You know, they list him 6'8". He might not be 6'8".
In traffic. Last touch by Smith.
There are very few players in the country strong enough to do that to Elton Brand. Smith may be the only one.
Thomas Kelly in. And Carrawell back for Duke. Carrawell, by the way, was Chappell's roommate last year at Duke. And he was the most surprised of all to learn that his friend was unhappy, disenchanted, and transferring.
Well, it must be kind of tough to have your roommate, the guy that you're playing ahead of, and fighting for your position as well. Here's that zone again.
Langdon with the spin. Out to Carrawell. Here he is, top of the key, and he bangs it home. That's a three.
Duke probably wondering where has that three been all day. And there's Smith trying to beat Burgess down the court as he did Brand earlier in the ball game.
Here's a player who could really lift the Spartans in the second half. Checking in, A.J. Granger.
0 for 4 in the first half, Jim. Between Peterson and Granger, they were 2 for 12 in the first half. And Michigan State staying fairly close considering that.
Cleaves, open, 3. He is rising to this moment.
He plays in the big games. He was 2 for 15 against Duke earlier this year. Down to 6, and Michigan State making them play half court at a time.
It's interesting how State has really turned it up in each tournament game in the second half. Carrawell, wildly, and Smith. Look at him, Brandon to Cleaves. They've got the numbers. State, okay, they cut within less than 6. Kelly jumper.
Really a big missed opportunity there. Mateen probably should have taken that himself.
And a reach in on the Spartans.
By playing this game half court at a time and taking advantage of obvious breaks when they have it, Michigan State has taken Duke really out of the flow of the game the way they like to play it. Not only is the score kept down, but also Duke can't get any of their runs started. Good job by the strategy of Michigan State.
Second foul on Cleaves.
Mike Krzyzewski up, starting to holler a little bit now. That's a long one.
Avery, rebound out to Granger.
Great block out on Elton Brand. He just couldn't get there.
To the corner. Kelly likes it from here, but misses again. That's 2 times.
Look at his
traffic. He gets it back and bangs it home.
Again, 4 guys going to the boards for Michigan State. Duke not able to keep him off the glass. Tom Izzo down on the floor screaming at his team.
Thomas Kelly, a 5th-year senior, has cut a 14-point lead down to 4.
Brand wants it, and he gets hammered. Too late to try to get him with a hand slap inside. It's going to become a war for the next couple of minutes here. Both these coaches now are off their feet. And I said you're not going to slap the ball away from Elton Brand down inside.
And importantly here, Billy, it's called the foul right here, the reach in on Cleaves, his 3rd. He's picked up 2 on the last 2 trips.
But Jimmy plays under control, so you know he's a smart enough player to stay out of it. There again, Kelly steps in the line. Unfortunately for him, Duke makes the free throw.
Back to 7 off the Brand 3-point play. Brand with 15 points. 13 rebounds. Doesn't have one in this half. Cleaves had an opening. They say Brand got him.
And right by everybody goes Mateen Cleaves on the drive. Granger did a nice job blocking Elton Brand out just long enough to prevent him from being in a position to make that block.
At one time, it looked like Mateen Cleaves may end up at Michigan and not follow his old high school teammate Antonio Smith. But he was in that accident with Robert Traylor on his recruiting visit to Ann Arbor. An incident that really kind of triggered the end of the Steve Fisher run at Michigan. There's Magic Johnson, Urban Johnson, who led him to the championship 1979. And congratulations, by the way, to Steve Fisher, named yesterday head coach, San Diego State.
Magic team back in '79 shot 62% in 2 games. But they shot 62% in their 2-game run to the national championship, beating Indiana State in the final, and wearing out Penn in the semifinal. Tempo really picking up here. Will we see any panic set in for Duke, Jim, with all that's expected of them?
Unaccustomed to tight games, Brand, again, almost automatic.
And that was, I fault Michigan State guards on that one. You've got to come back and double down on him and make him throw it back outside.
Kelly. Smith is still alive. There's Peterson.
Wow, Brand gets called for another foul on 2 very close blocks. But again, Michigan State offensive boards just keeping the ball alive.
That's the 3rd on Brand.
I'd say that Michigan State in better shape with Cleves having 3 than Brand having 3. And Cleves is a guy that can play under control, Elton down there and all that traffic, and Smith will draw some fouls on them.
It was at the line against the Kentucky Wildcats where Peterson sealed it last week. 7 out of 8, but that one bounces out. Doug Davis and Charlie Bell back for State. Burgess for Duke.
Been the all-time leading Final Four free throw shooter for a game, 12 for 12. The guy that was in our broadcast booth this year, Jim Spanarkel for Duke. Back in '78, Magic himself was 11 for 12 in a game against Penn. But Jim Spanarkel of Duke was the all-time leader. You can't do any better than 12 for 12.
Wow.
Unless you're 13 plus, huh?
And of course, Leitner had the 10 for 10 against Kentucky in that regional
final. He also
final
was 12 for 12. He had 12 against Kansas. Trajan Langdon can't get anything done offensively.
But it gets it back. And it rolls in.
And now Duke gets on the offensive glass. There's going to be a test of wills here. Remaining part of this game. This is a hard-nosed Michigan State team.
Cleves is out, getting a rest. Davis directs, and he's got Brand on him. Now they switch back. Oh, and a collision. Over and back. Davis says, what? You're not going to call that a foul. He pushed me across the line.
Over and back. He made the touch of the ball. They were still in possession, and he touched it in the backcourt.
But was he bumped into the backcourt? Watch, he's still in the front court. Now he's pushed across.
I'll give you. I think I'll buy your story.
Okay.
Introducing delivery confirmation for Priority Mail. Now, what's your priority?
Stuck with a flat tire? Not with this tire. Even with no air pressure, you drive to safety. Aqua Steel Run Flat. Don't get stuck. Get there.
Mom, can I watch TV?
No, Billy. Do your homework.
It's too dark. Why can't we use electricity like the other kids?
Billy, you know we're trying to cut costs.
We've got plenty of candles down in the basement, son.
Billy?
It wasn't me.
Grandma.
I'm okay. I just walk it off.
How do you plan on saving money for the future? Conseco's wide range of financial solutions can help. Conseco. Step up.
See the USA in your Chevrolet.
Liberty, freedom, opportunity. Westward, upward, ingenuity.
See the USA.
Songs, dances, second chances.
Chevrolet.
Unbelievable romance. Changing faces, going places. Wherever America's going, we'll be there.
Mr. Kegler's class at Maxwell Middle School is measuring saguaro cacti.
Saguaros take up a lot of water during the rainy season. We're going to see if the circumference changes through the course of the year.
They're graphing their findings with Microsoft Excel.
Sometimes you get the result you expected, sometimes you don't.
These kids are learning that they can use technology to understand the world.
Science is life, actually. I don't know how to reduce it from that.
Wednesday, Law & Order is a rerun, but on an all-new Chicago Hope, a child dies and a doctor considers the impossible.
The whole idea of cloning is obscene.
All new CBS Wednesday.
Brand has 9 points in this half. Cleves with 10 leading Michigan State. And there, look at that combo.
Two pretty good coaches right there, huh?
Judd Heathcote, national championship coach in 1979. And Steve Mariucci, head coach of the San Francisco 49ers behind him. Mariucci, Tom Izzo's best friend and roommate in college at Northern Michigan University. They were each other's best men in the wedding.
Jim, Judd Heathcote's club was 4-4 that year in the Big Ten. Were able to get on a great roll. They ended up in a three-way tie for the Big Ten championship. Had it been prior to '75, they wouldn't have even gotten in the NCAA tournament. But had a tremendous run behind Greg Kelser and Magic Johnson.
Still boos to be heard coming out of that break about that call at midcourt. Carrawell steps in for 2.
Blocked.
And out to Peterson.
It seems that every time Duke has an opportunity to get the ball inside out, it goes out to a non-shooter. For some reason, Trajan Langan has not been the guy today.
James on the floor. Davis with the loose ball. But it's off him. Good ball.
Davis is having some rough time in the backcourt, isn't he?
He's going to come out with Cleves returning.
You know, James got his hands on a lot of balls out there in a few minutes that he played.
And Battier for Burgess.
Hard-fought basketball game here today, regardless of which team turns out to be the victor. They really bang each other on the boards.
Battier in traffic.
See, again, the ball tapped out. Duke never in a position to take those threes they're so good at.
Avery, a second try. And Cleves and Peterson. Peterson pull up.
Oh, he doesn't miss many of those.
Brand with his first rebound of the second half.
Where's he going? He better pass.
Got Carrawell, and he's got a charge.
That's his 4th. Cleves, that was a bad play by Elton Brand.
What a moment that was, though. 2 players with 3 fouls. And Cleves stands his ground against the much larger Elton Brand.
Jim, he should have given up the ball immediately to a guard and filled the lane. He not only picks up his 4th, Duke loses an opportunity for an easy 2. Poor judgment on his part there.
It wasn't like running into Eduardo Najarov.
No,
but I'll tell you what, Brand, if he gets you the right way.
But as I said, Cleves is in a position, his 3rd not as big as Brand's, because Cleves can play under control.
So Brand is out with the 4.
Big opportunity now for Michigan State.
And they immediately go inside and convert.
That could be a huge foul.
Carrawell draws it.
Jim, I'm going to reach way back to the biggest foul like that I ever saw in the NCAA tournament. 76, Indiana going up against Alabama. And you had Kent Benson and Leon Douglas collided. And both of them, either one that got the foul is out of the ball game. It turned out to be on Douglas. Indiana won and went on to be an undefeated national champion. Could have changed the history of the game.
I'll give you one more like that. Clyde Drexler against North Carolina State. The 4th foul called on Drexler with Terry Gannon drawing the charge.
Well,
some folks who went to Houston still don't like the call.
You're very biased as a former Houston guy. Clyde's 4th against somebody's 5th. Come on.
All right. I'm still smarting about that one. 16 years down the road. Nate James returns.
Krzyzewski paying off James' ability to get his hands on some balls. Now Klein out there. Burgess is with Smith. Some guys off the bench are going to have to come up big for both teams now.
Cleves launches. Smith tried to tip it out.
Uh-oh, watch it now.
Avery and Cleves. Cleves has to be careful. Boy, how
that's smart.
Off Avery. Get ready for Championship Monday. Monday, it begins with Everybody Loves Raymond at a special time, followed by the King of Queens, except on the West Coast.
Boy, give Mateen Cleves a lot of credit, Jim. Stood his ground on 2 plays. Duke gives up 2 great opportunities for fast breaks because Cleves smart play defensively.
A pass.
Wow, no foul.
Michigan State lucky to get it back.
They're allowing them to bang each other pretty. The way this game is being played, you're taking some hits. Look at this. No foul called on that play. That was similar to the one you just saw a few minutes ago at half court. Got to be a foul. Anytime you make contact and gain an advantage, it's a foul. Cleves loves to turn that corner with the right hand.
Gave it up again at the last minute.
And Jim, what are we seeing now? A Duke team that usually dominates their opponent by 380 foul shots so far this year. Michigan State getting to the line just as much as they are, if not more in the second half.
Bell at the line to shoot 2. Mike Krzyzewski's team with 36 wins, 33 of them by 10 points or more. Imagine that. Only 3 wins by less than 10 points on the season.
And that may be something that doesn't help them in this game, because they have not been tested in a real close ball game. Another offensive
Petersberg puts it back in for 2 more.
No blocking out by Duke. This Michigan State team is right there.
Mo Peterson has done that 2 times in this half. Converted off a missed free throw.
Ball.
And they say last touch by Michigan State.
Wow, we are seeing some shaky officiating down this stretch. The referee wants a towel. He might need that to wipe his glasses if he had them. Jim, this Michigan State team, their ability to get on the boards, and Coach Izzo mentioned coming out at halftime, that's what he had to do, and his team has really responded in that area. They were getting dominated in the first half. 28 rebounds to 14.
Langdon, 3-pointer.
Nothing there, and a good block out again by Michigan State.
Look at Cleaves surveying the court. Klein, big shot. And a foul on Duke.
Carrawell pushing Bell underneath. In the craziest ways, Michigan State staying in this game. We said that Granger or Klein would have to come up and make some shots. They're not doing it, but this great rebounding by Michigan State's getting it done.
UConn advancing in the first game today. Now 1-1 for Bell. And with this attempt, they'll have shot 10 free throws to only 9 for Duke.
And now the referee's talking a little bit on the inside. Michigan State is just taking it to Duke physically. They're showing them they're a tougher team.
It was Bell who said a week ago, to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And they're now within 3. At one time, it was a 14-point margin in this half.
And remember who's on the bench with 4. A lot of time to go. That foul that could have been a fast break for Duke. Duke ran on the bench with 4.
Langdon, 3-pointer. Wow, what a big one.
Beautiful move on Bell. Michigan State keeps moving without that ball down inside, setting some vicious screens. I'm surprised Avery doesn't make Cleaves go back to the left. He's been able to come around with that right hand all day.
Line again. Tipped out by Bell. They say he was over the back. And that's the 7th on Michigan State. Langdon will shoot a 1-and-1, and he is an incredible free throw shooter.
Look at Battier's leadership trying to pull this team together to get organized on the defensive end.
Ranger. Perhaps he'll have a change of luck from the first half performance.
Jim, Klein 1 for 5 against Mississippi, 1 for 5 against Oklahoma, 1 for 6 against Kentucky. A guy who has had some big games shooting-wise, but it's just not there today.
And look at this. Langdon's 2nd all-time in the ACC in free throw percentage, and then a turnover right back.
Big break for Duke there.
Timeout on the floor. Blue Devils lead is 6.
Sorry. Not enough. No, still short.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Paper or plastic? Paper.
Make it a Bud Light.
Guys, need a receipt?
Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
Where will you be when your children find their life's passion?
Your dreams change. So have we. Now Dean Witter and Morgan Stanley have joined to provide a world of investment advice on a personal level. The world will change, but at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we will always measure success, one investor at a time.
Incredible. The readings are off the charts.
Elton Brand with 4 fouls. Duke leads by 6, and the Devils have possession. Jim Nance, Billy Packer with you. And Billy, let's talk about some strategy here in the last 8 minutes.
Well, I think the real key for Mike Krzyzewski is to keep this as close as he can to get down under 4 so he can get Brand back in the ball game. He's going to need his offensive punch. Really surprising how Michigan State has been able to control the glass here in the second half, keep the game half court at a time. Cleaves with the ball in his hands, extremely dangerous. But that was in a game this tight, that was a huge turnover for Michigan State. They had the ball, they had good momentum, and just threw it away carelessly.
It was on this floor a year ago where Duke squandered a 17-point lead against Kentucky. And a push-off called on Granger, which will send Maggette to the line for a 1-and-1.
That's a tough matchup for Granger outside with Maggette's quickness. Right now, you've got Tom Izzo putting Smith on the bench, figuring to give him the rest, knowing Brand's going to come back probably underneath the 5-minute mark, so he doesn't want to waste his energy right now. Duke not doing what they do so well is shoot free throws and shoot threes.
Missing on 2 consecutive front ends of 1-and-1s.
Nice curl.
Peterson off the glass down to 4.
Nice curl. Battier waited to try to draw that charge. A good no call by the official. And he's a 6th man, Jim.
He is indeed. He's got 15 for the game, 11 in this half.
A lot of people want to know, what would Duke do if somebody could play him close?
Well, that's what they do right there. Avery knocks down a 3.
Peterson looks like he wants the ball time and time again. And he's being played by a real good defender in Carrawell, but he takes him anyway.
Cleaves, look at this, it goes out. No, traveling.
Pretty good defense by Avery on Cleaves.
Could you tell me how this ball goes in, though?
Well, a pretty good reverse dribble, and he just actually loses it right here. Slides, falls, and steps away. So, good clean call. Avery now wanting to take it and gets the roll. Big plays. And here comes Cleaves right back at him.
Avery with 5 unanswered and a timeout of 20 by Michigan State.
He might not be Duke's best player, but I think he is the guy that's the real key for them because they cannot play without Avery.
The CBS Sportsline stat of the game. Rebounding advantage Duke. But bear in mind, that was 28-14 at halftime. For a complete tournament coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com.
Jim, just a grind-em-out type ball game. Much like the first game, you know, we didn't see really any nice flow today of basketball. We're seeing teams grinding it on out.
But most of Michigan State's games are that way.
Oh, exactly. That's the way they play. It's
as Tom Izzo said, nobody picks us because we're not the prettiest team in America. But this is the way they play. You know, they beat Mount St. Mary's in the first round by 13, and they'll go beat a Kentucky by 7. It's always in that kind of margin. They don't run away, and they also don't get blown away. Peterson to the corner. Passed up a couple of shots there. inside of 6 minutes.
You got to force him left here. You've got to force him left, and does.
Lead short.
Good, smart play that time.
Peterson called timeout.
Jim, one of the things, too, this club 15-1 in the Big Ten. We talked about the strongest conference in the country. They lost to Wisconsin, and that was it. They weren't even that pretty in the Big Ten tournament, but they were able to struggle through. Remember knocking off Northwestern in the first game for them in the tournament?
And they haven't lost. And that was January 6th, since January 6th. Tournament heritage, we go back to '92, Duke's last championship. But to get to the Final Four, well, one more look at the shot by Christian Laettner.
Puts it up. The flags are dropped at half-mast as you speak in the state of Kentucky.
Thomas Hill. Oh, my God, you can read his lips. Laettner's day, 10 of 10 field goals, 10 of 10 free throws. And if Duke plays Monday night, Laettner and Hill will be here.
Critical time now. Mike Krzyzewski just trying to get some more minutes before he gets Elton Brand back in this ball game. That was a smart move by Avery to force Cleves to go left, not let him circle with that great right-hand power move he's got.
Cleves back to the rim, and Carrawell tips it out to Battier. Well, with Brand on the bench for almost 5 minutes, the lead has actually increased by 1, from 8 to 9. Carrawell wants it. He'll go to the line for 2.
Carrawell really taking over the offensive load, Jim, with those drives on the inside. Now, Duke has not been good on the foul line, but this time he'll have 2.
Second on Peterson.
Carrawell about the only poor free throw shooter on this ball club, shooting just 57%.
Carrawell at the line. 2 shots for Carrawell.
How often do you see this? Trajan Langdon missing the front ends. Carrawell having struggled job on here at the foul line.
We talked about how long it's been since state loss, since January 6th. For Duke, their one and only loss was 4 months ago tomorrow.
Cincinnati with that incredible play.
Duke has missed its last 4 free throws, Billy.
Brand is going to come back in the game, so Mike waited till the 5-minute mark.
Hudson backs in and converts.
That's his shot. I'm surprised again nobody doubled down on him inside. You know that Cleves is not a great outside shooter, neither is Bell, so they're going to want to score inside.
Timeout Duke. A 20.
Timeout.
They've been saying all year, every time we get a team down, we talk about the Kentucky game where they let that 17-point lead evaporate last year against the Cats on this floor. And Billy, you mentioned the loss.
This is Ryan Fletcher throwing to Kenyon Martin, who then will tip it off to Melvin Levitt, who lays it up. Trajan Langdon following on the play. Remember at the end, Avery almost in time. Time ran out, and Duke didn't pull it out up in Alaska. They flew right from there to play this Michigan State team. So they came off their only loss to face Michigan State in Chicago.
That was back in Alaska in Trajan Langdon's home state. 4:44 remaining, and Brand has returned to the game.
With 4 fouls. So Cleves and Brand both had 3 at the same time. Cleves has stayed right out on the floor. I don't remember him coming out in a long, long time. Has he sat down at all of it?
Yeah, but Davis had the 2 difficult moments.
That's right.
Back-to-back possessions. And he set 3 minutes in the first half.
Brand has to be careful if he tries to drive to the basket.
Over Smith. Oh, by Carrawell.
I thought he went over the back that time and got away with it.
Definitely.
Carrawell's coming up big on the offensive end here. He's got the job on Peterson. Well, what a screen that time on Battier. Just lost it.
Cut to the basket. Peterson can't lay it in. Hudson looked like he hacked Brand. No call.
Avery wants that ball back.
Final 4 minutes here. The winner to play Connecticut Monday night for the championship.
Carroll pulling his jersey. Wonder if he wants a lob here.
Brand will work on Smith. To Carroll, and another foul here.
What Elton Brand is recognizing now is what's happening to him when it goes down to the low post. Smith pushing him from behind. They're doubling down, so the pass is there. And Carroll moving very well without the ball.
Third on Peterson.
Look at Brand down on the inside. He's holding his ground. Now he realizes the double team's coming, so he looks to pass. Good smart play on his part.
That's 10 team fouls on the Spartans. Double bonus time the rest of the way.
Jim, there isn't anybody in college basketball that really can play him one-on-one down in the low post. So what Elton Brand has to recognize when he gets the ball, does he have an immediate shot, or is there a double team? If so, he's got to look to pass. Early in the game, he really wasn't looking to do that.
Carroll with 2 shots. Carroll and the drop. Duke have now missed 5 straight free throws. Granger back in. Monday night, Carroll and Battier and Langdon went to Greensboro. Cheer on the women's team from Duke as they advance to the Final Four, and subsequent to that, they've advanced to the championship game at the women's Final Four, playing Purdue tomorrow for the title. Quite a year for Duke basketball, huh? The lead is back to 10.
I finally made it to the Final Four. I've gone all over the country and proven everyone loves the taste of Pepsi One.
What did you think of the taste?
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Enjoy the way that tastes.
This is great.
It's good.
This
is great.
The best stuff ever.
There you have it. Now it's official. Everybody loves the taste of Pepsi One.
Pepsi One, a new secret formula. Makes it taste too good to be called diet.
Yeah!
1 potato, 2 potatoes, 3 potatoes, 4, 5 potatoes, 6 potatoes, 7 potato balls.
Chevy Venture now has available seating for 8. Perfect for when you're expecting the unexpected.
5 potatoes, 6 potatoes, 7 potato balls. Rub.
Now choose 0% financing or $1,000 cash back on a Chevy Venture. See your dealer today. Chevy Venture. Let's go.
Through this door is the power to make the internet come to life.
Making up a mess of fun. Making up a mess of fun.
Introducing the Pentium 3 processor. Don't just get onto the internet, get into it. Find out how at Intel.com.
That's one race that I wish I could run over one more time.
The legendary Daytona 500 has broken a lot of hearts.
I was way out front in 1981, and that thing ran out of gas.
In 74, I blew a tire with 12 laps to go.
But the biggest heartbreak of all would be trying to get into Daytona International Speedway using an American Express card. So if you want to enjoy the heart-pounding excitement of Daytona, bring your Visa card, official card of NASCAR.
My girlfriend left me here at Daytona. I sure miss that car.
Coming this May, the television event of the year. Joan of Arc, a world premiere this May on CBS.
Back at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. And Duke had seen its lead drop to 3, but now that was at 51-48. Now on an 11-4 run. And a reminder, after Final Four action, Sammo Hung and Arsenio Hall and martial law coming your way tonight on CBS. 3:35 remaining.
Jim, really critical for Duke to keep Brand on the floor right now because they can punch it down into him, force Michigan State to trap on the inside, and then Trajan, Langdon, and Avery, who have not exploded on the outside yet today but are so dangerous, can get that ball with some good looks because Michigan State definitely is going to have to help out on Brand inside. And of course, if you're Brand, you've got to stay away from picking up that 5th foul. Still plenty of time for Michigan State in this ball game.
Peterson and the rebound by Smith for a moment, touched out by Maggette.
Well, Peterson realized Brand was coming and had to alter that shot.
Carroll for Maggette, and for Duke.
He'll zone it out of bounds here.
Peterson, three-pointer.
Oh, big shot.
Looked like it'd go down for a moment. Langdon with the rebound.
All day long, Michigan State has not gotten that lift that got them here off the bench with Granger or Klein to hit some of those outside shots that were so critical. Duke's starting to spread it a little bit now.
Avery.
Fade.
He's hit a couple of those, but not this time. Bell to Cleaves. What a save by Cleaves, and an escape. Steps back for a three. And Carrawell with two hands.
I'll tell you what, you start counting the things that Carrawell has done in the last 6 or 7 minutes. Offensive play and defensive play and rebounding. He has really come through. And here you have a big spread out, trying to use some clock here. 5-second call, very close.
Peterson reached in. Carrawell to the line. Double bonus.
I have to wonder, why was Carrawell the guy back there for the outlet pass? You know he's the man they want to foul. Avery had to come to the ball there.
Just 2:10 remaining.
Jim, in the second half, Michigan State, we talked about their bench all year long, only outscored by Iowa's bench in any game. In the second half, 13-0. When they were behind in the first half, 11-6. So they have gotten the production. Duke finally gets the first shot of 2 to go down.
Back to 12.
Carroll had the great game against St. John's. The last time Duke was really contested. Had 17, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists to that ball game.
Granger three-pointer. They got it.
There it is. Been waiting all day for him.
Gets it back to single digits.
Going to try him again.
Peterson reached in. That will be it for Morris Peterson.
Wow, that hurts. That takes away their #1 scoring threat. You know, if you knew you were going to foul, Jim, that would have been a place to put Klein in the game, let him commit the foul, get Peterson back in on the offense. That's a tough break for Michigan State.
So the most outstanding player of the Midwest Regional is out of the game with 15 points.
All Big Ten first team, 6th man of the year in college basketball, and put a lot of pressure on that Duke defense today.
Thomas Kelly replaces him. So the leading scorer is gone.
Well, if you know you're going to play a game of trading fouls for possession, you sure don't want your leading scorer to be the guy to commit that 5th foul. Kind of a mental slip by Michigan State.
Carrawell will have 2. That gives him 10 in this half, 12 for the game.
Elton Brand smiles. Sometimes now a shooter like this gets on a roll and starts feeling comfortable on the line.
That's what Peterson did last week.
And Michigan State really did the job from the foul line down the stretch. And now if you're Duke, you want to go ahead and force Michigan State to make a bunch of passes, using up that clock.
Cleaves past Brand and off the glass. Smith tried to tip it once. Kelly, three-pointer, short.
Now they've got the situation where you don't want to foul this guy.
But we're moving toward a Monday night final of Duke and Connecticut. 2 teams that traded off #1 in the polls this year. People forget that UConn was #1 for 10 weeks in the season.
More weeks than anybody. Well, Carrawell's going to go back to that foul line to continue this string of his. This Duke team pretty resilient, Jim. Just when you thought it might show some signs of cracking, and Michigan State's a team that can make you do that. You have Elton Brand on that foul on the bench in foul trouble, but they were able to hang on. And this young man right here is a major reason for it.
Tom Izzo was the National Coach of the Year a season ago. Son of a shoemaker. There's his wife, Lupe, behind Judd Heathcote. His father, Tom Izzo's father, Carl, with a family business up in Iron Mountain, Michigan. Everyone knew it would be a Cinderella story, even though they were a 1 seed. They could beat Duke today, but that shoe's not going to fit here.
Oh, dangerous pass.
Cleaves inside, Granger for 2.
Now, I'm surprised Duke doesn't get that ball in Trajan Langdon's hands more going down a stretch here and put that outstanding free throw shooter on the line.
1 minute remaining, and the Blue Devils have a 9-point bulge with a minute left.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
The new Silverado interior is so big, there's plenty of room for seating. And, in a pinch,
Mommy said I could ride the pony.
ample room for sleeping. Introducing Silverado, the truck from Chevrolet.
You spend your days, and probably more evenings than you'd care to admit, trying to align your company's strategies with process and technology, and managing risks to your global operations. At Arthur Andersen, we can help you make those kinds of decisions. And that just might free you up enough to take care of something that's really important. Arthur Andersen, helping in ways you never imagined.
Oh man, it's early. Did they test through to the router? We're merging 2 totally different bank networks. Gotta work seamlessly. Seamless. AT&T says it's ready to go. Either gonna be the hero today or hiding in the John, right? Hero. Yeah.
AT&T Net. Working to make your business succeed.
The biggest movies, the best movies, only one place, HBO.
Me so Kornikova!
The Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn premieres Tuesday after Letterman. You never know who'll stop by.
We're back in St. Petersburg. Jim Nance, Billy Packer, 9-point margin here, Billy, and you don't want to kiss it off yet. If you think back to Todd Leary in Indiana,
oh, that's
back
right.
in Minneapolis in 1992.
Right, Duke almost didn't get to the final game against that Michigan basketball team. But I think what we're going to see right now, a lot of screens set by Duke University, get the ball in the hands of their 2 outstanding free throw shooters and get them on the line the rest of the way. Trajan Langdon is trying to get him the ball in the bad pass.
Here's the steal, Kelly. And inside, who will get it?
Well, again,
Battier. Wow, that was for any chance you figure Michigan State had to convert something there.
Mike Krzyzewski has to be very disappointed in the execution of his team, because what he wanted to do in that timeout, I'm sure, is to say, hey, the rest of the way, guys, I want only 2 people handling the ball, Trajan Langdon and William Avery. They threw a very weak lob pass to Trajan. Mike Krzyzewski developing quite a record. We all know that he's going in for a hip replacement operation on April the 5th, right after this season. And I have been involved in some games this year, Jim, that he has broadcast where he was in some severe pain, but fighting through it here in this tournament.
A degenerative condition in his left hip, forcing the surgery. Of course, the back ailment and fatigue, exhaustion kept him out for most of the 95 season. Ran back in. It was interesting talking to him yesterday, Billy, about last year, his approach last year. He first used the word vendetta, trying to make up for that 13 and 18 record that 94-95 season was. But he says it was the wrong motivation. It was more about, well, it was more about me wanting to make up for it, and that was wrong, he said. So I took a different approach this year, and he really put the pressure on his team before even a first game, saying, I expect our team to win a national championship. And when we asked him about that, he said, He wanted them to learn all season long about trying to play to high expectations. Klein, 3.
Got time for that young man. Good for him to finally make a shot with all the adversity that's faced him all day long.
Brand to the line for 2. There's Mickey.
And Jim, still a lot of time on this clock, considering the fact it's 7. Got 31 seconds. Brand going to the line, and the good free throw shooters for Duke are not getting there. And Mickey struggling up there in the stands.
Saw the daughters, Lindy and Jamie and Debbie, his husband Peter.
They're to be grandparents, that young couple.
Coach K will make Coach K grandparent, yeah. But you know, he said, why, you know, I wanted my team to understand all season long what it's like to play with those expectations, because when we get to the Final Four, they're going to be there again. Interesting strategy, wasn't it, Billy?
Yeah, but it's not been a walkthrough for this ball club today.
25 seconds remaining.
Taking 3. Klein wants the ball. Cleves driving.
Look at Cleves fight for it.
Beats
down to 6
for a rebound. How about that?
17 seconds left and a timeout. 68-62. We'll be right back.
I became interested in working in the brokerage industry when I was very young. I went to Harvard. I majored in economics. We had a last trade at 59 and 7/16. That was down 4 and 3/16 on the day. Throughout my life, I've had to work hard and had to focus to get where I am, and I'm going to bring that ethic to my job here at Schwab. Charles Schwab, Adam, 122998. Anytime you have a company that's been as successful as Schwab, obviously the employees are driving that, and I hope that I benefit Schwab in their growth and in their success, and I will.
Great. Yeah, that tune-up.
These AC Delco parts are about the most dependable you can buy. They should really help improve your performance.
Come on, they're all the same. I'll take some out of this bushel basket.
Okay.
AC Delco. No matter what you drive, if you're not asking for it, you're asking for it.
3, 2. There is a conspiracy spreading across the country. Its members see things no one else can. What they're watching looks like a movie, but it's a movie premiere that can't be seen anywhere else. And they can access thousands of movies a month.
How? They must possess a technology that is not of this earth.
Who are these people? Let's get out of here. DirecTV. What are you looking at?
Okay, this is the inside of the cabin where I wrote the Yellow Pages. It's really a fascinating place. A lot of research material. Here's a hazardous waste removal. Attorneys, they send me a cast. This is really interesting. This is for loans. Check this out. I told them I never got it. Bakeries, we got cakes. This was amazing, this, automotive repair. Guy sent me a whole engine. I do all the drawings for the book.
Yeah, people don't know that.
They don't even know I wrote the book. People think it's just a phone book, and it's not. It's a place to get ideas.
George Lucas, who gave the world Star Wars, gives Leslie Stahl and 60 Minutes the first look at his latest creation, Sunday.
Well, Duke has won its last 4 games in the national semifinals since Seton Hall beat them 10 years ago up in Seattle. They knocked out in this round Arkansas 90, UNLV in the Shocker 91, Indiana 92, Florida 94.
Jim, not a bad time to run a man long here. But you want to set enough screens or enough crosses for either Trajan Langdon or William Avery to catch this inbounds pass. There goes Maggette long.
Look up. Maggette gets it, and Smith fouls him.
That's a good move by Duke, and Michigan State was kind of ready for it. But a very good play right there, because you know that Michigan State wants to steal the inbounds pass and try to foul right away. So they send Maggette long. That pass had been led a little bit better.
Smith never looked back. You know, he comes from a family of defensive ends, not defensive backs. You know, his brother Robert is a defensive end for Michigan State, and his other brother Fernando plays for Jacksonville, and he's fouled out. Jacksonville Jags, that is.
Smith goes out, but this game is not over. The top free throw shooters for Duke have not been on the line, and Duke's only 14 for 25 from the line. 6, so this is really critical that he hits one of these shots.
And Smith, the senior, has fouled out. And he'll hope for the miracle to keep his career going at Michigan State.
There's still a life here. This one is so critical to get a 3-possession game here for Duke. No siree.
Granger pulls it down. Can they get the quick three?
Get the ball up.
Cleaves off the screen, fires it, and out to Avery. Boy, they had a shot
Avery
to
ought
get
to
it
hang on to this ball and pass it to no one.
It's over. It's over. Duke advances to the national championship game.
It wasn't pretty, but they got there. Survive and advance is what Jim Valvano said this tournament's about. And we have 2 teams today, Connecticut and Duke, who survived and advanced.
They both win by 6. It was UConn 64-58 over Ohio State. And here, Duke 68-62. The 2 Big Ten teams are eliminated. So it's UConn and Duke Monday night for the national championship. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game, Elton Brand from Duke. 18 points, 15 rebounds. He had only 3 boards in the first matchup of the season against Michigan State. Mateen Cleaves for the Spartans. So we're all set now for a Monday night final. The 2 teams that traded off #1 during the regular season. Bravo to Tom Izzo and his Spartans. Greg Gumbel coming up when we return.
Stuck with a flat tire? Not with this tire. Even with no air pressure, you drive to safety. Aquasteel Run Flat. Don't get stuck. Get there.
Announcing a new way to see, near and far, the way nature intended. Introducing the revolutionary AccuView bifocal contact lens with pupil intelligent design. New AccuView bifocal. Visit your eye care professional or call us for more information.
You don't tell people you're #1. Give me the house sirloin.
I'll have the house sirloin.
Always have the house sirloin. They tell you.
I'll have the house sirloin, please. Applebee's house sirloin.
It's America's #1 sirloin steak.
9 ounces.
Char grill.
Great.
Perfect. Now that's a mouth-watering steak. Oh, yeah, that house sirloin.
Oh, so tender and juicy.
Really juicy.
Can't beat that.
And 6 other great steaks.
Don't miss them.
We didn't make it America's #1 sirloin steak.
I'll have the house sirloin.
You did.
Applebee's house sirloin, please.
The #1 reason you belong at Applebee's.
It knows 2 speeds. Stop and go. It just beat a series of the toughest stop-and-go driving tests in the world, and it's brand new. Go ahead. Guess. You have 4.3 seconds. Introducing Pennzoil with new Pure Base. Stop. Go. Pennzoil.
I became interested in working in the brokerage industry when I was very young. I went to Harvard. I majored in economics. We had a last trade at 59 and 7/16. That was down 4 3/16 on the day. Throughout my life, I've had to work hard and had to focus to get where I am, and I'm going to bring that ethic to my job here at Schwab. Charles Schwab, Adam, 122998. Anytime you have a company that's been as successful as Schwab, obviously the employees are driving that, and I hope that I benefit Schwab in their growth and in their success, and I will.
Welcome back to St. Petersburg, everyone. A reminder tonight here on CBS, stay tuned for an all-new episode of Martial Law. Then join CBS Sports Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Prelude to a Championship. We will preview the national championship game that follows between Duke at 37-1 and UConn at 33-2. Tip time for that game is 9:18 p.m. Let's go back down to the court now and join Jim Nance and Billy Packer. Jim.
All right, Greg, here with Coach K and Elton Brand. Congratulations. Monday night now, all set, UConn and Duke. Very physical, as we expected. The 68 points, the lowest of the season for the Blue Devils. Was it as physical as you expected going in there?
No, it was very physical. I think that's the most physical team we've played all year. They're banging. They're just relentless under the boards down there.
What does it mean to you to be playing for the championship Monday night?
You know, it's a special feeling. You know, you dream about this all your life, and we're going for it Monday against UConn, so it's going to be great.
How about it, Mike? How about the performance today?
Well, they're not only physical, they're a good, clean, they're a great team. And they did not let us get open looks. I think Elton in the first half was the difference. And then they played tougher than we did in the start of the second half. And when he got fourth foul, I was really scared. But our bench, especially Carrawell, came through with some moves, and he got those offensive rebounds that kept that, like, 3-possession lead.
Mike, so many times during your career as a coach, you schedule those Saturday, Sunday games, so you've got to recover in a hurry. I know that's going to bode well for you in this one because it's going to take a quick adjustment for a team that played a very tough basketball game, won't it?
Yeah, I think one of the adjustments for us, and one of the biggest things we have to do to get ready for UConn is actually to get our team rest. This was a banging game, and when you're playing against Cleves, you have to play every possession. I think Will Avery could be a little bit worn out, and we're going to have to maybe rely on our bench even a little bit more on Monday night.
What about UConn, Mike?
UConn, to me, you know, you guys, I don't know if you made a mention of it today, but we have the top 3 teams in the country here. So we have to beat number 2 to get there, and we're going to hopefully beat number 3. But UConn and us, I think we're number 1 the whole year.
That's right. Right.
So you arguably have the 2 best teams in the country playing for the national championship. It can't get much better than that.
Well, best of luck Monday night. Coach K. Elton, just superb today. 18 points, 15 rebounds. They played Michigan State twice during the season, and both times they beat the Spartans by 6. It's Duke and UConn Monday night. We'll continue from St. Petersburg in a moment.
Delivery confirmation for priority mail. Now, what's your priority?
When Diane initially came into the office, her time horizon for investing her money was rather short-term.
It was right after college. I was going to turn over the money pretty quickly to pay for graduate school.
Since then, her objective has changed.
I've always had this kind of long-term goal in mind, which is starting my own business.
But that means actually invest more aggressively because her time horizon had lengthened. She knows herself. She knows her goals. She knows her tolerance for risk. She's learned about the tools that Schwab has to assist her in meeting those goals.
You don't tell people you're number 1.
Give me the house
I'll
sirloin.
have the house sirloin.
Always have house sirloin. They tell you.
I'll have the house sirloin, please. Applebee's house sirloin.
America's #1 sirloin steak.
9 ounces.
Char grill.
Great.
Perfect. Now that's a mouth-watering steak. Oh, yeah, that house sirloin.
Oh, so tender and juicy.
Really juicy.
Can't beat that.
And 6 other great steaks.
Don't miss them.
We didn't make it America's #1 sirloin steak.
I'll have the house sirloin.
You did.
Applebee's house sirloin, please.
The #1 reason you belong at Applebee's.
Introducing delivery confirmation for priority mail. Now, what's your priority?
We remind you once again that coming up next here on CBS, Martial Law with Sammo Hung and Arsenio Hall. It's coming up after we sign off. Our final score of Game 2 here this evening. The Duke Blue Devils advance to Monday night's championship game with a 68-62 win over Michigan State. And these beautiful aerials once again brought to you by Goodyear. On the losing end this evening, the Spartans of Michigan State. And just a short while ago, our Bonnie Bernstein caught up with Michigan State coach Tom Izzo.
Tom, Elton Brand has 4 fouls on him, goes out with just under 10 left in the game. Your team gets within 3. What was so difficult about trying to pull ahead?
Well, I think Trajan Langdon, they proved why they're a great team. You know, Trajan Langdon hit that big 3 on the left side. Charlie Bell did a decent job defending him. He just proved why he's an All-American. And, you know, the difference in the game still was that first half. You know, the assault they put on us on the rebounding was incredible. And you got to give Elton Brand a lot of credit and that whole team. And yet, I was pleased, Bonnie, that we battled back second half and showed a little bit of the character that I think got us here.
22 games in a row your team's won. You're about to head into the locker room. What thoughts are you going to share with them?
Well, I'm going to thank the seniors. You know, they've been so special to me in this program, and I'm going to tell the underclassmen, you know, that when you get to this level, you have to play 40 minutes. I think we played 20 or 20-some, but we just didn't quite get it done in the first half, and I don't know why that is. I'm going to have to think about it in the summer on why we get off to these slow starts.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for your time, Coach.
Thanks, Bonnie.
All right, Bonnie, so we look ahead to Monday night. You know, Duke comes up with its lowest point total of the year and still comes up a winner, Coach.
They're tough. It'll be Vosco versus Brand. Can Vosco just negate him? Can he hold his own on the glass, and can he hold his own in the post?
Look at the perimeter matchup. Elamine and Hamilton were splendid today. I think they're going to have to carry UConn offensively Monday night.
All right, guys, let's quickly set tomorrow's CBS Sports lineup for you. It all begins at noon Eastern time with the Frontier Communications Player of the Year Award Show, followed at 12:30 by the Pepsi One Final Two Show, The Road to #1. Then it's the Texas 500. Coverage begins at 1:30 Eastern time. That all comes your way tomorrow here on CBS. We thank you all for watching. For Jim Nance and Billy Packer, for Coach Rick Majerus and Clark Kellogg, for all of us here at CBS Sports, I'm Greg Gumbel. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.
Back in the
Continues on to the Monday night final.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3,
It's over. Duke advances to the national championship game.
Some things are fated. In the end, they work out just the way they were meant to be. Jim Calhoun's Connecticut Huskies. Mike Krzyzewski's Duke Blue Devils. This season was theirs right from the start. And tonight, one will be national champion.
CBS Sports presentation of Prelude to a Championship is sponsored by Honda, a winning lineup of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans.
Prelude to a championship. Duke and UConn are set to tip off at 9:18 Eastern time. The Huskies and the Blue Devils are a combined 70-3 on the season, and each team has it all. Power, speed, depth, excellent coaching. In short, it has all the makings of a classic, and the winner will leave the court tonight with this coveted prize, the NCAA Championship Trophy. I am joined once again by Clark Kellogg and Utah coach Rick Majerus. Let's talk a little bit about the participants in this game. For Duke, the focal point, as he has been for every game this season, is the big man in the middle, Elton Brand.
You know, Greg, you and I on our way over here yesterday, we talked about a song sung by Roberta Flack, Killing You Softly. Well, Elton Brand kills the opponents softly. He combines strength with soft hands and soft touch, along with great agility. I don't know if he can be stopped, but UConn has to try to slow him down.
All right, Coach, as Elton Brand kickstarts the Blue Devils, the Huskies look to Richard Hamilton.
Hamilton has to work very hard to get his own shots, but his teammates have to help him as well by screens. Richard Hamilton must get fast break threes in transition. He must get threes off of in-and-out game. He's got to get his dribble drive, penetration, pull-up middle game, and baseline curls become very important.
All right, if we're looking for matchups in the backcourt, Clark, where do we look?
I think you've got to start with the possibility that you'll see Ricky Moore from UConn on occasion defending William Avery from Duke. These guys were high school teammates on a state championship team in Augusta, Georgia. The first time they go against each other head-to-head in organized play, it should be a dandy of a matchup.
And when we're talking about backcourt guys, there is perhaps no more deadly a three-point shooter in the country than Trajan Langdon.
And better than anyone in the collegiate game, perhaps, he hunts the three. He spots up very well off dribble penetration, but does a great job on the kickouts by Brand in the event that they leave him loose for just a moment. I think, though, Connecticut has to use some presses with discretion and also zone a little bit to change and disrupt Duke's rhythm and govern the tempo of the game.
If there's an X factor tonight, Clark, bench play?
Both teams had tough games on Saturday. Both teams have good depth. The two key guys from each bench for for Duke, it's Corey Maggette, and for UConn, it's Edmund Saunders.
All right, can you tell we're excited? Prelude to a championship will continue here on CBS right after this. Nice place to host a tournament, St. Petersburg, Florida. The skyline here this evening, the weather is magnificent as it has been all weekend long. And welcome back to Tropicana Field as we count down to Duke and UConn. A short while ago, Bonnie Bernstein caught up with Connecticut coach Jim Calhoun and his floor leader, Khalid El-Amin.
All right, Coach, we always talk about how excited the players are when they come to a tournament, but look at you, 27 years coaching now. This is your first championship game. What's running through your head?
Trying to still find ways to beat Duke. I think everybody's excited and looking forward to the opportunity. And I think Mike's kids probably feel the same way. I know our kids do. And I bet Mike Krzyzewski, even though he's won a couple, he'd probably like to win a third, and I know I'd like to win our first.
Do you get butterflies like the players do?
This is the toughest time, waiting, you know, but I think once they throw the ball up, then you coach like, I can't say like any other game, but the game itself is like any other game.
All right, Nicola, there's been so much talk about defending Elton Brand inside, but you've got quite a task in dealing with William Avery. What's the strategy on him, and do you split duty with Ricky Moore?
I think I do, but at the same time, they have a tough time matching up with us, too. So we're not really focusing much on them. They have a tough time defending us, and we plan to shock the world today.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Khalid El-Amin hoping to shock the world. As for the Blue Devils, Armin Katayan is standing by live with a report. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, one of the things that makes Duke so unique is instead of avoiding the idea of winning a national championship, they've actually embraced it. I got a chance a couple of days ago to spend some time in Durham, and when I was down there, I noticed something that was really interesting in the locker room, taped on each of the lockers of the players. It was a little bracket of this tournament. But what really caught my eye was the headline, not the words Final Four, instead the words Our Tournament. Well, if it's going to be Duke's tournament tonight, they're going to have to overcome the physical pounding they took from Michigan State. To do that, Mike Krzyzewski gave his team the day off yesterday. They didn't practice. In his words, he wanted to restore both their mind and their body. Back to you, Greg.
All right, Armin, thank you. What kind of a game do you look for tonight, Coach?
I believe the faster pace favors Duke.
I don't agree with that at all. I think the only way UConn has a chance to win, full throttle, pedal to the metal for 40 minutes, and I think they can prevail.
All right, gentlemen, as game time approaches, we'll return with more Prelude to a Championship in just a moment.
To a Championship is sponsored by Honda, a winning lineup of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans.
They're getting set down on the hardwood floor for the grand finale of what has been a very special march to the championship game. To call the action for us, we turn it over to Jim Nantz and to the man who will be calling his 25th NCAA title game, Billy Packer. Jim, take it away.
Well, the Huskies have arrived. Thank you, Greg. This is a night to celebrate. First off, for your milestone 25th championship game tonight, Billy. Congratulations.
A lot of great years there, Jimmy.
I'm telling you. And you know, in your 25 years, this is a rarity what we have tonight. The game we've been clamoring for all year. The two teams everyone wanted to see in the final. It so seldom works out that way.
It really does, Jim. This is 1993 is the last time we had two #1 seeds go head-to-head. And think about it. Big East ACC, 1982, Georgetown, North Carolina. Will we take another one of those tonight?
Oh, you better believe it. Let's talk about the Duke Blue Devils, the team everybody's talking about here.
Well, you've got to start with Elton Brand on the inside. So many things that you may have to do defensively to stop him. Connecticut's going to try a lot of things, I'm sure. Here we see the aggressive Duke rebounding. They had to do this against Michigan State. Did it take too much out of them? We'll see early in this game. And then the unsung heroes of this tournament. Has been outstanding off the boards offensively and defensively. And if you're going to start off with Connecticut, you got to think about Rip Hamilton. 24 a game in the NCAA tournament. Kevin Freeman, another one of those unsung guys, can rebound. He can score and he can defend. And when you start talking about defense, you're talking about